Good morning, Sassy Fam. Welcome to your Sunday check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous. Today's check-in is for yours and theirs. Like always with yours and theirs, take what resonates, leave it does not, and reverse those energies as you see fit. More so with readings like yours and theirs, as energy exchange and interchange is real, rapid, and fluid. Having said that, your person that I see on this board today, might include the energies of a significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, ex of 5 years ago. I never know until the cards are on the table, right? But I would also ask you to include or make space for those other perfectly common elements I'm just as like to see, such as work stuff, family stuff, spiritual stuff. But, as I said, take it as it resonates. You guys, no real notes. We're going to go ahead and keep the intro short. Did your readings today? A lot of energy focusing, centering around, it seems, the most current full moon. So, FY saw a lot of activity surrounding now. That's how you know some of the readings are really syncing up. People are showing me what's important to them and how they got to move towards it, and they're going to do what they're going to do. You know? There you go. But yeah, overall, very good readings today. Speaking of yours and theirs, so today is the check-in, and not next week, but the week after, I should have out for you all your in-depth versions of yours and theirs. Yeah, it's time to really get in there and do some good work. By the way, this, I understand this might be distracting, but what's underneath it would be more distracting. So we got some big old scratches, long, angry, red scratches that I decided to go ahead and cover it up. So no, this is not me being extra. No, I'm not trying to go for like a pirate look or I don't know, but I decided to go ahead and accessorize around this. So here we are. That's today's outfit. No, cinnamon. Bless her. You know how it is. If you have animals, if you have dogs, particularly large dogs, they're playing with you. They're trying to get your attention, and they put all their weight on you, and then they scratch you. They don't mean to. It happens all the time. And yes, of course, I get her nails trimmed. But here's the funny thing about nails: they grow back. So that's how you know they need trimming again. So yeah, we got some ugly scratches there, and I didn't want that to bother anybody. So we decided to go ahead and cover it up. And like I said, we accessorized it, honey. We work with it. We work with it, okay? We see what happens. And I think I look like a pirate, don't I? All right, you guys. I will see you next week for some shorts. I will see you at the Thursday check-in, and I will see you at your sign today. Take care. Be well. Leo, what's up? What's going on? Show me Leo, please. Show me Leo. Okay. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board. So explain the intro, reverse energies, as you see fit. Show me Leo. Seven of Wands, the Lovers, the Fool. Okay. Look at that. It's inspiring. Five of Cups, the Empress, and the World. Okay. The Emperor, Knight of Pentacles. That's what I thought. Okay, overview. This one's very specific. So, like always, when they get this specific, they are either A, yours, B, not yours. And if it's not yours, don't worry about it. You're not being excluded. Just check your other placements. No big deal. It happens all the time. Tarot casts a wide energetic net or a very tight one. All right, Temperance. Yeah. No, you've been doing your time. In terms of Temperance, you've been doing your time in Temperance. Patience, healing, consolidation of difficult emotions, etc. It's a process, and that's why Temperance equals time. We have to remember that, and it takes the time it takes. For some people, they can heal up nicely in months, seasons. For some folks, it's years. I don't know how long you've been in Temperance. Point is that you're kind of showing me you're ready to wake up now. And come out of Temperance and kind of live life again. So you've done your bit. You've done a beautiful job, good job. And I know that because, when you produce quality, you get quality results. And that's what you're showing me. So it's not a challenge. Don't take it as one. It's just you're either ready or you're not. And you're saying, I'm waking up. I'm ready. No more hitting the snooze button. I'm going to get up now. Seven of Wands, the Lovers, the Fool. Wow, with caution. Fine, that's reasonable. I completely understand. With caution, boundaries, and or standards, we very much want to connect to a lover. It's a strong connection. The Fool, it inspires you. it very much inspires you with the Fool. And I think that's why you're showing me Seven of Wands. It's like, oh, man. The potential of connecting to that makes me feel very foolish. Very. Can't run away with that, right? Got to keep it in check a little bit. But you are very excited. And I'm excited for you. I can feel your enthusiasm from here. I love it. It's contagious, honey. But yeah, Seven of Wands. With some caution. Still, you want to proceed to a strong connection, whomever that is to you. You seem to have a strong impression. I don't think it's in the generic vague sense of I'm just going to seek a lover. No, it feels specific. It does. But yeah, it's very inspired. I love the way you're opening up to it. Like I said, you did your time. You're showing me that you're ready. Then you're ready. Over here, where you're coming from, I have a former, emphasis on former, his and hers. So here we have a classic Emperor-Empress set, and that set is divided. Okay. It is separated. It is very separated. Five of Cups, the Empress, the World. This person recognizes the cycle as being over. Okay. And yes, there's sadness here. There is loss, a sense of sadness, loss, regret, remorse. The Empress, the World, however, they acknowledge the cycle as being complete. They are still an Empress, I'm sure, in their own right, just no longer with you. And I believe it's you who is showing me the Emperor here, Knight of Pentacles of the self moving forward. It's not just an ending, it's a period of transformation, rebirth. Yes, I agree. As you're showing me, you're waking up. So you didn't stop at the ending. You chose rebirth. Okay? And we only see that with people who heal. Okay? When we don't heal, we just accept endings. And that's it. Okay? The wounds are still raw. They never fully close, you know. But you lined yourself up for that. All right? So that means, I'm sure, no doubt, you are still an emperor in your eyes. Someone who is empowered. But you know the difference between an ending and a transformative beginning. And I think that's very much where you are. So that speaks to notes of empowerment. And you chose to move forward despite that. Again, I'm very happy for you. I love it when people say, you know, death is not the end. You're right, it's not. And for this person, they recognize the cycle as being over. So that means in time, they'll see other opportunities opening up for them. I don't think that's where they are right now, but in time. So yeah, this person has exited. They left the scene. You are aware. And you see it as the making of you. It's a rebirth now. Now, I'm not going into the history of it. Perhaps they'll show me a little bit more advice about what went down. But you're saying you've acknowledged it. You've been acknowledging it. You've been healing. And now you're ready for this. Okay? That's it. We're doing a very rough summary today. This one would absolutely be worthy of an in-depth, however. Okay? But you already know the reasons. The thing is, the Leo I'm looking at, you've already know the reasons. You've digested the reasons. You've worked through the reasons. And you've come out the other side ready to be reborn. You know? In a very powerful way. But to you, it's probably from a perspective of I'm just moving on in life. But, respect. What is that? I'm thinking of Thank You by Alanis Morissette. Yes, thank you. It's a great song. The phrasing's a little choppy, but she says something to the extent of, how about not equating death with stopping? Exactly. You didn't. A lot of people do, but you didn't. Okay? Let's get some advice, please, for Leo. Six of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Knight of Swords. You kept your head down, minded your business. You focused on priorities, got yourself in order in the process. It's all very overarching. Temperance is here twice. Some of you, Sagittarius season is a kind of marker. Okay, so you might be hitting your first 1-year marker or your 1-year cycle post this situation. For others of you, frankly, you will just feel better and know you're ready to come out a little bit more by Sagittarius season. And frankly, some of you just might have some very strong Sag in your chart. That's it. But yeah, Six of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Knight of Swords, you know. Like I said, you kept your head down, you minded your business, you stayed on top of your principles, your balances, the things that work in this life, and you focused on that, and that helped you in many ways stayed grounded and connected to what's important, and you focused on it, and you focused on it, and you focused on it. Making sure all was well in your 3D world. It kept you busy, it kept you more than busy, it kept you active, but it gave you a good space for reflection. And, you know, that's one of the things, what's one of the benefits, obviously, of grounding. Some people work excessively, and that's the opposite of healing. For you, it gave you a point of reference. A point of reference to stay grounded, stay in touch with what matters. And build into that. Anything else here, please? So you've been using your healing time very wisely. Staying active, staying busy. The Empress, there's that 5 of Cups here twice, 8 of Wands. Okay. Heads up, for this person, you've done a lot of transformative work, yes. I see that. Heads up, this person, it looks non-threatening, but here we have repeating, okay, the Empress, 5 of Cups, okay. One of the benefits of using multiple decks is that you can see repeating patterns. Just heads up, it's non-threatening. This person has some more words for you, so expect some communication from them soon, perhaps by the time of this message or somewhere around this week. It's just FYI. They're still hurting. I think, obviously, you've done better with this ending, perhaps, than they have. Like I said, it's a matter of time. They recognize the cycle's being over, okay? But that doesn't necessarily mean that they see how the door's opening yet. So they might still be speaking to you or finding reasons to make contact to ease some of that pain or to gain reassurance, okay? So just FYI. So just FYI, for some of you, yes, it involved a commitment. Yeah, okay? Former. All right, I think that's about it. I think we covered the nuts and bolts here. I'd like to see a little bit more. Excuse me, for Page of Wands, that's opening up soon. Okay. Okay. Yeah, very soon. I was curious. Oh, it's a little hottie. It could be a fellow fire sign, absolutely. Again, could be seeing markers around Sagittarius season, which is a couple of weeks from now. But again, a little hottie there. Oh yeah, no, we're excited. Very attractive, very attractive. This one kind of, that's where that freshness of spirit's coming from, isn't it? So it's not just a good looker. It could be that this person's very passionate, very fiery, or just flips that switch on in you that makes you feel very alive and very whoa, you know, something like that. Yeah, as I say, I'd like to see a little bit more on them because that's where you're next headed. I really want to focus on where people are going. But you are kind of in between these states of recognizing where you've come from and how you're ready for the next thing. Okay, so good work here today. I know it was a process. You make it look easy. Check-ins make this stuff look easy. But I know it was a process. You showed me that twice. Okay, you stuck focused to the basics, and that really helps you rebuild into self. Okay, and you can feel yourself waking up in very magnificent ways, but just FYI. It looks to me, if I were to take a guess at this, the way it kind of can still feel free to talk to you, I think in some ways you left the door open for communication. Okay, because it's gentle, it's not screeching. I don't think it's screeching, angry, or anything like that. But it looks like it still needs support. I think you left that door of communication open for this person, at least for a little while longer. Okay, all right, and beauty. Oh God, great beauty, huh? It is a great beauty. Oh yeah, wow. Charming, graceful, and kind-hearted. So yeah, I said it's more than just being a little haughty. No, there's something very charming. Yes, fire can absolutely be charming, but graceful and kind-hearted. But yeah, there's a beauty, a great beauty associated with that one. Huh? Yeah, but also the personality. But personality, oh yeah, makes a big difference. All right. All right. You might also associate them with transformation with the butterfly. So that could be also around here in Scorpio season, but just FYI. All right. And despair 32. I understand. They're still hurting. So that it's so dramatic, but that's the 5 of Cups. Just boil it down to the 5 of Cups. It's there 3 times. So yeah, they're still hurting. You've done phenomenal work with your time. Temperance here. They just kind of see it as a cycle that they have to accept. They haven't seen the other side of it yet, the other side of that cycle. Okay. Okay, 25, you know, This is, of course, the engagement ring, not diamond, classically, ruby. Ruby is actually traditionally what you would use to give back in the day to indicate you're worthy of marrying because you're a virtuous woman, or I should say virtuous partner. You're very, very attractive, you're rare and virtuous. So it could be an indication of future indications, and it could also be where you came from. Okay. Because clearly what ended was serious. All right. But also perhaps what you intend to enter is also serious. All right, number 25, 32. I know, I'm full of useless historical trivia, but I think stuff like that's fascinating. How people used to express themselves, what were the standards and norms. Like once upon a time, the lovers was represented via the tulip, not the rose. No, you didn't send your lover roses, you sent them tulips. It was a sweet, secret message. All right. 3, stop it. Stop it. 3 E's. E. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with all the E's? I guess you would know. All right, we have the key. Yes, you do have the key. I'm glad to see that for yourself. Clearly, you've done some healing, so you understand you have the key. To any given situation, you're able to lock or unlock doors. Okay. We have, yeah. I see that. I see that here. We have the Madonna here of Scorpio, so yeah, in the Scorpio season. You know, I'm still seeing it largely connected to this person who still needs contact with you or feel they need contact with you. You've done an amazing job. They're still struggling. So just expect that here. But yeah, this obviously clearly runs into Sagittarius season as well. And then we have the ladybug in reverse. Some of you feel that you have not been lucky in love. Or you just don't consider yourself very lucky. Right? Well, that's okay. That means you're much more likely to appreciate hard work and someone who can think and act in their own interest. Okay, instead of relying on luck. You make your own luck. That's okay. This tells me you're not afraid, like I said, of hard work. It's all right. It's all right. But if you were looking to change that, you might do. Leo, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Sag, what's up? What's going on? Show me Sagittarius, please. Okay. Oh, before I forget, your power card came up a couple of times as a point of reference. So if you have any very strong Leo in your chart, possibly connecting to, maybe check those out, yeah? What's going on? Show me Sagittarius, please. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board as I explain the intro, first energies, as you see fit. What's going on? 2 of Pentacles, Temperance, you. Knight of Swords. Okay. Trust yourself. You're there. You've done the work. If it's right, you'll do it. If it doesn't feel so right, then maybe you won't. Okay. Page of Cups, 8 of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Okay. Devil, 4 of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Okay. Well, I can see why you're going back and forth on this then. Page of Pentacles in the overview. Should I drop something? Should I do a little something? Should I do a little something? You've been going back and forth on this. Temperance, Knight of Swords. Now, to be clear, I don't see you rushing off in any sort of direction of love or anything like that. It's very much, should I do something? Whatever that is to you. It's coming across as very mechanical. Page of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. This is, should I do something? And then you're right there. So I know this is kind of posing as a dilemma for you. A moral dilemma, ethical dilemma, something like this. A spiritual dilemma. Okay, but the mechanics of it, should I do something? It might be an obligation act, or you feel it's an obligation act. I'm not saying you have to. From within, that might be more or less how it's translating. Okay. And the Knight of Swords, again, the Knight's associated with communication and action. Tends to be a little bit more perfunctory, the one that we really don't want to handling our emotions and things like that. So again, I believe you're showing me something mechanical. Should I, quote unquote, do something? Over here, Page of Cups, 8 of Cups, Knight of Wands. The interpretation of any sort of gesture from you, I'm not sure how it would be received. Because you're showing me something mechanical. Should I do something? Should I respond? Should I give some energy to this? Give it some of my attention or focus? Over here, they're showing me, I'm not emotionally available to take your call right now, but I wouldn't mind a bit of a thrill. Knight of Wands. Well, So while their heart is not open, okay, for any sort of receptive activity or giving, it is kind of open to some positive, light, don't take it too seriously sort of energies. Knight of Wands. Perhaps a little bit more on the playful side, a little bit more on the impulsive side. Okay. But the bigger part of them is going to be absent. Okay. So the Devil, Four of Cups, Page of Swords. There is an outstanding feeling here between these two that no matter what I do, it's not going to make them happy. And you're right. And I think that's why you're showing me more of a mechanical approach. Should I technically do something about this person or situation? Because a small part of you feels obligated to act in some way, but you're not actually showing me emotional investment. It's kind of like, should I reach out? Should I say something? Should I do something? So let's call it concern on your part. An obligation to feel or express concern. And for their part, they're not open or receptive to anything too deeply. But Knight of Wands, it's kind of given me, more so here. Look, we all get into a space like that right now where I'm not open to experience anything too deeply. But hey, shits and giggles, right? Laughs, fun. Okay. Everybody experiences that. The reason why it's looking problematic to me is the Devil, Four of Cups. That's perpetuated. Page of Swords lacking insight. So what I have here is a negative emotional pattern that accumulates to the black hole experience. It just consumes, it just sucks without any sort of insight as to what's going on. Page of Swords. So it's kind of like no matter what I do or attention or energy that I give to this, it just goes into a vacuum or goes into the black hole. It's so that telling me this is a little bit of a chronic problem with this connection or this person between you two. Okay? No matter what you do, how you approach it, it will be negatively received or it doesn't seem to make any positive impact. And no, that's because this person's not emotionally present. It seems more on a long-term basis. Short-term, okay, that happens, as I've talked about. Long-term is a problem because it can create this negative effect of no matter what I do or say, it's always taken the wrong way, or it means nothing. So it could be that this is coming across like as, again, maybe a cheap thrill. I just need something to keep me entertained. Give me some attention, please. But it doesn't actually go anywhere substantial or meaningful. In order for anything you did to have meaning or impact to this person, they'd have to be more available to receive it from a positive place. So it's kind of like whatever you do with this, it's like, give me attention, give me attention, give me attention. And sometimes it has what looks like a light lifting result. And sometimes, like I said, it goes into a negative place of interpretation, but it's never has a long-term good result. So, and I don't like absolutes, but oh my goodness, the Devil, Four Cups, that's pretty chronic. That's a chronic emotional behavior pattern you have with somebody, where you try to make a difference, you try to make an influence, and like I said, it either temporarily lifts their sense of feeling and ego maybe, but it doesn't hit any place deep. Okay? Or it's interpreted negatively and it is angry. So yeah, I can kind of see why you're hanging back and you don't know if you should quote unquote do anything. Yeah, honey, I think no matter what kind of gesture you made, it'll be interpreted incorrectly or go to a weird place. I don't think anybody intends to live a life of cheap thrills. But if you remain chronically unavailable in the heart space, all you ever really going to get are these kind of brief mood lifters, you know, where you feel good for like a second. And then you crash, you come back down again, and you need more attention. And I'm sorry it's like that. But, man, lacking insight, that's a big problem. So you're there, Temperance. Put some thought into that, if that resonates with you, okay? And say, okay, whatever it is I do here, would it just be me throwing time, energy, attention, effort, resources into a black hole? And maybe they'll feel good today, and then they'll crash in an hour. Something like that. I don't particularly care for this dynamic, neither do you. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. And for your part, you might see it like as a penny of your time. It doesn't cost you much, you're right. But do you have to go through this every single time you connect to them? That's a problem. And I'm saying that. I'm saying a chronic problem here. And I'm sure you've told yourself don't take their moods seriously. I don't know, guys. These moments in our life, when you look at them, pull back the lens, while they seem small at the time, they can add up to a lot of time. So, something to think about. And while you're not necessarily showing me that this is any drain on you, in a way it kind of is. Because you got to sit there and think about it. Do I want to contribute to this person in that dynamic again? The Emperor, Knight of Swords. Yeah, the Knight of Swords, Page of Pentacles. That's up to you, honey. Again, right there, consistency. Knight of Swords twice, Page of Pentacles twice. The Emperor, you know better. You know yourself well. If this is something that you want to do and you don't really care, then go on then. You literally know the best use of your own time, energy, attention, efforts. But just like you've been showing me, I would not get emotionally invested in this any further than you might have already have. But yeah, if you want to contribute to this, it's up to you, like always. You know, tarot's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. It may not seem like you're feeding this person much, but it seems to land in one of two places. It either hits their ego and it makes them feel positive very briefly, or it gets misconstrued as something negative. So something to think about. The Sun is in reverse, the Chariot, the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, it never seems to move anywhere. The happiness meter here is way off for somebody. The Chariot, Four of Pentacles, and yet it's repetitive. It's a pattern, all right. Yeah, but it doesn't actually make them or this connection any happier. Okay. So something to think about, and also ask yourself why you continue to contribute to this, even if it's in small ways, over such a long period of time, knowing the effect it has, right? Why? You can't control them, no, and I'm not asking you to. But you can control your side of the board, right? You get to choose your own level of participation. Okay. Obsession, infatuation, adoration, addiction. I'm looking at those last two words specifically. I don't know that they necessarily have an infatuation to you. I do think that they are attracted to you, yes, and any sort of attention here or adoration is better than nothing at all. Yeah, so I think we have, take out the word obsession, but just saying, you know, an addiction to adoration. It feels good in this context or situation to get something from you as opposed to nothing. So like I said, we got that feeling here of feeding this black hole. It's coming from a bad place, you know. Okay. Yeah, so that's the second time I've seen something in reverse that suggests this is not happy, this is not warm, this is not healthy, and it has nowhere to go, no movement. Okay? It hasn't changed and it's probably never going to change. So 3. Something to keep in mind. All right? You get to make your own choices. T, O, B, and S. All right. Saggy, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries, what's up? What's going on? Show me Aries, please. Show me Aries. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board. So I'll explain the intro, reverse energies, as you see fit. What's up? Okay. 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, the Fool. Ace of Wands. Four of Cups, Queen of Cups, the Magician. Oh, yeah, okay. Page, yeah, you're not the only one. And I shuffle the heck out of these. Yeah, no, you're clearly working. You're interested in working on something. We're talking work, pathway work, project work, teamwork, alliances, collaboration, all that stuff, all hands on deck. It's like, I want to get something going. Because I see an idea for you that's strong, and you're like, you know what? We've got a pretty good root system here. You, me, these folks. Let's bring this group together. Let's do something. Let's make some magic. It's almost like you're trying to get a band together. And I'm excited for you because you're like, you're that person. Dude, bro, I have the most amazing idea. Check it out. Boom, 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 boom. And you really, but you're not just talking talk. You actually mean it. You want to put something together. You're excited, but you're like, I need help. Assistants, teammates, you got it. Employees, I don't know. But you're like, let's put it together. So you're kind of like rallying the troops, and saying, hey, who wants to get in on this? This is a great idea. I'm excited. And many of you already have a kind of a platform here at the 7 of Pentacles in terms of experience, steadiness. Just, you feel comfortable enough with enough skills and experience behind you to kind of launch into something new. And you're excited. You're going to go through a learning phase. You're going to go through a doing phase. And you're going to work with others. It's amazing. I love this. I'm so excited for you. This is a good goal. It gives you something steady to work on. It's cool. I like it. If you're so inclined, feel free to share what you're trying to put together. You have a good idea here. It also represents a learning phase. But you're like, that's fine. I know enough to get started. And so you have. I'm really excited for you. Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, Ace of Wands. You know, I think... see, that's lovely. It really is lovely energy. It is. It's just in the wrong context. I think you're looking for alliances and like I said, assistants and colleagues or co-workers, whatever. Somebody who wants to act out this vision of yours. And I have someone here who wants to say yes, but it seems like it's saying yes for the wrong reasons. Now, it's not malicious. It's not vindictive. It's not anything weird. It's just someone who is bringing a lot of skills to the table. Queen of Pentacles, okay, someone who's very experienced. The Fool, Ace of Wands, but they seem to be interpreting the situation differently. It's like, this is my opportunity to open up or be close to Aries or shoot some interesting energy their way. So yeah, they have a lot to bring to the table. I'm not trying to dismiss that. You know who they are. This is someone who is highly functional. You know, they're very capable of taking care of their home space, territories, their own personal sense of work, etc. The Fool, Ace of Wands. So I'm happy to see that they're excited, but it's like they're signing up for the wrong reasons. It's kind of like, let's say you were both signing up to a gym membership at the same time, and they're only signing up because you are. You know, otherwise they could care less. You know what I mean? But you're excited. You have goals. You want to go there for a reason. Yeah. And they're there because you're there. So it sucks too, because I love seeing the Fool and the Ace of Wands for people, and especially when it's attached to something so grounded. Oh, that's wonderful, because that really means quality. Well, a quality sense of self and home and worthiness and working hard, and the Fool and Ace of Wands, and they're open. They're open to you, but they're open to you for, again, what seems like the wrong reasons. You're asking for all hands on deck for a very different reason. It's not just aimed at them. But they're kind of seeing it as an invitation a little bit. So just please be aware of that. Okay. You want skilled helpers, and they're like, I'm skilled, and then some. So Four of Cups, Queen of Cups, the Magician. We're not wanting the same things here. We're not. You want something that has more to do with work, career, job opportunity, creating something from the ground up, and you very much want this person's help. You understand what they can do, but you're not. It ain't trying to happen that way. So you're showing me disappointment, because that tells me you get wind of it. What you're manifesting and what they're manifesting, different pages, completely different pages. And there's disappointment a little bit on both sides, because it's like, no, this is what I'm doing, and they're like, and this is what I can do also. And it's like we're not a match. We're manifesting two different things from the heart here. You're like, I think I made myself pretty clear. This is what I'm trying to do. So I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. So, if you choose to include this person, my only advice to you before getting to the advice, if you choose to include this person in your project endeavors, you're going to have a lot of firm boundaries. We don't want to do any sort of misleading, right? So we're going to want boundaries in place, or perhaps you don't rope them in, or you don't opt them into this. Kind of depends. It's up to you, honey. But yeah, there's disappointment. We don't want the same thing. No, you don't. It sucks. I just want to tell this person, take all that beautiful quality energy and point it at someone else, because clearly you're in that space where, you know how you hear people say, I'm focusing on my career right now? You actually are. You actually are. So, keep that in mind. I tell you, people never look so attractive as when they're working and they're working on something and it's goal-oriented and they throw themselves into it. And because we're demonstrating experience and knowledge in doing those things, the attraction level goes way up. I know. So why is that when you're starting something, you're starting work, you're starting a project, and then suddenly the attraction points skyrocket? There you go. I'll tell you what. Oh, I just saw 5 of Cups. Oh, no. 3 of Pentacles. I mean, that's why I like to tell people, once a friend, always a friend. Don't use the friendship label unless it's accurately applied. It needs to be, because honestly, once it's a friend, it tends to stay that way for a lot of people. I'm not saying that's always the case, but honestly, that's like the nail in the coffin. We set that precedence of friendship 5 years ago. That's suddenly not going to change. So I know you know who they are, and I think that you would call them a friend. Yes, I know. See, you made it very clear. 8 of Pentacles, you made it very clear. I'm about my money right now. Okay. And you have such what looks like a solid idea. I am legitimately excited for you. I know you're creating that opportunity. You've been waiting for a long time to create this opportunity. Yeah. So if this is not where you are, it looks like you're not with this person, my advice is to leave it be, to either put a lot of standards and boundaries and manage expectations around this, or opt them out of the opportunity, because I really don't want you to get distracted from this. Now, you're a big Aries. If you want to go for this, I'm just saying, I just don't think that's where you are. Okay? You're trying to put together a team, and they're thinking about a different team. Knight of Swords, 5 of Wands. I think this is going to create a problem. Unnecessary tension. It's for you to address as the Knight of Swords. Okay? 8 of Cups. There you go. Honesty. And that's about as honest as you can get. We're going to address any unnecessary tension, cut them off before they have an opportunity to happen. Before they have an opportunity to arise or crop up. 8 of Cups. I'm not available. That's it. I'm not available. And, typically I see in tarot, most people have to learn it the hard way. So when I actually catch somebody conveying that, I always say, good job. Manage those expectations. I am not emotionally available. I am not available. Okay? That's whoever's on the receiving end. It's not a challenge to change that person's mind. If not available, take them at their word. You will save yourself so much frustration. And like I said, as far as I can tell, the friendship label's already been applied to this. Okay? But yeah, manage those expectations. It's the right thing to do. Correct. Fairness. And overall, you need to focus on what's right for you. Balance some scales for you first and foremost. This is important, therefore it receives your focus. Okay? There you go. And if they can keep that in check and they still want to work on this project, awesome. However, if they recognize within themselves they're signing up to the gym for the wrong reasons, yeah, maybe they should unsign up, But yeah, you got to do what's right for you, honey. Fantasy, it's daydreaming. It's interesting. The fantasy piece is really high, perhaps, for this person, which is interesting because they're so grounded here with the Queen of Pentacles. But that's not to say a grounded person can't have fantasies. Of course they do. I'm just saying, I think from their kind of point of view, this is the opportunity they've been waiting for to open up to you. Be a person who is contributing and also demonstrate their passion and their love. And no. It's fantasizing. It's fantasizing. It's fantasizing. And there's nothing wrong with fantasy, honey. Oh, I'm a huge fan of fantasy. Oh, God. Where do you think... I write, by the way. I write a lot of fiction. Yeah. Everything begins in the imagination. But also based in reality. So they have a reality or an idea of you, but how it plays out in their head is fantasy. Okay? All right. All right, that's enough of that. You're interested in people who are willing to work hard at this time. You being first and foremost at the forefront of that. You expect hard work to pull this off, and you're not into daydreaming right now or becoming somebody's romantic interest or love interest. Okay? You said, I'm not available to love. I hope they believe you. Message, wishing well, and there it is, expressed someone's wishes and desires. Okay? 74138. Expect a message, conveying wishes, yours, theirs, or somewhere in between. Okay? Like I said, and that's where we got to be honest. It's like we don't want the same thing. Sorry. If you can set that aside, maybe you can work with me on this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pass. M-O-R-J, and then we have the medallion of the child. Some of you have children, simply put. And in which case, this is very important to you. All the more reason to stay focused if you want to build something legacy-wise for your kids. Increase your security, your way of life, etc. So yeah, all the more reason, especially if you have children. You can't afford distractions right now. And then also, in the context of personality, for what I'm seeing, the child is pro. Unconditional love, just openness. But con, prone to, like I said, daydreaming, fantasies. And then also childlike dependency. I'm not saying that this person can operate in and of their own right. But the willingness just to be open then as the child. Okay. All right, Aries, honey, I hope this helped you. Congratulations to you and whatever it is that you're doing or focusing on. I hope that it is awesome. It looks interesting. Again, feel free to share that in the comments if you know what it is. In other words, if it resonates. All right. I hope this helps you. Take care. Be well. Aquarius, what's up? What's going on? Okay, what is going on? Show me Aquarius, please. Seeing so many references to your power card. A lot of people looking forward to the new year. What's up? What's going on? I'm not surprised, honestly. That's where people tend to focus their dreams and goals at the start of the new year, right? Makes sense. And then don't get me wrong, I understand that we're still in Capricorn season for the first week or so, but then it's heavily associated, the new year, goals, dreams, aspirations with your sign. And they might be short-lived, but, they tend to be powerful. Anyway, just FYI. Seeing the star everywhere. All right, what's up? What's going on? Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board. But as I explained in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. 7 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, Page of Swords. Okay. 7 of Cups, 2 of Cups. Oh, the star. And there you are, darling. Good to see you. Overview, 7 of Swords. I'm not so certain. Excuse me, not so certain. You're not so certain. 7 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Hesitation, doubt. It doesn't seem like a lot, I know. Your pathway has stayed fairly consistent over the years, 7 of Pentacles. Okay, Page of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Nevertheless, consistency or not, right? Long-term path or not. Time passes as it does for us all, and in some ways something's catching up to you. You want to know if you can open up to it. A lot of time has passed. It's like I've been doing my own thing, minding my own business. But you're showing me doubts here, 7 of Swords. Something's catching up to you, Wheel of Fortune, and you want to know if you can open up to it. Space isn't the issue. If you wanted to open up to this, you could. You have the room for it. But should you? You don't know. 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, Page of Swords. Something's coming through. It communicates with you, it seems, soon. It knows who you are. 10 of Pentacles. It comes from a pretty steady foundation, pretty solid. Okay? That kind of tells me perhaps you two have a common environment. But it knows who you are. It wants to open up. It wants to talk to you. It's very official at first. Very official. Could be talking about foundational business, work, community, catching up about one's network resources and activity in that community, something like that. So it's very official at first. 7 of Cups, 2 of Cups, the star. However, the emotional impact is actually quite high. It touches your heart. Okay? It does touch your heart. The question is do you open up to it? But your immediate response is, oh. It's almost like you weren't expecting this person or situation to be thinking of you. I don't quite know. But it is thinking of you, and it also communicates with you. Yeah, but you wonder if you can open up to it. Well, according to what I'm saying here, I'm not telling you what to do, but according to what I'm saying here, the answer is yes. You have actually kind of a lovely reaction to this. Well, that's very kind. And they're thinking of me. Or this crossed their radar and they're talking to me about it. You know. It remembers you. And it touches you, and you're touched by it. Should you open up, that's where you struggle. You can, 7 of Cups, 2 of Cups, that, by all rights, fair and square, is an emotional exchange. The willingness to open up is right here. Okay? Page of Cups, very small contemplation. But yeah, I believe you'd like to. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying I believe you'd like to. But at first you question it. What I think is the kind of, not exactly shock, but surprise that this is reaching out or that it thinks of you at all. It has something to do with the past. It catches up to you. It's not really karmic. It's just, it's time. It's just this time. That's all. It's time. But yeah, should you respond? Should you say something? Even if it's something as simple as, you know, you're reaching out. I appreciate that. Oh, there it is, right there on the split. There's that Page of Swords there. Okay. It seems to be coming from a good place with the Knight of Cups. But at first, it's very official. It's very business. But it's like, that's very sweet. You thought of me. Thank you. But yeah, Seven of Cups. I mean, it's available to you if you want to open up and express thanks. Or that was very nice of you. That was very sweet of you. Queen of Pentacles. Three of Wands, the Fool. Is that you or them? Ace of Cups, the Sun, Chariot, Seven of Pentacles. Oh yeah, this is something, Seven of Pentacles, yeah, such a steady path. Eight of Cups, the Sun, Chariot. This is something that you say once upon a time you stopped being able to identify with, feeling satisfied with it, specifically warm by it or happy with it. The Chariot, you've moved on. Many times over, you've moved on. And you've stuck to your path, whatever that is to you. But yeah, no, this is something you stopped putting hope into a long time ago. But yeah, no, you're just showing me a symbol of moved on process, and I think you're surprised to hear from them a little bit. That's all. The Queen of Pentacles, Three of Wands, the Fool. I'm going to go ahead and default to this person. It's interesting. It's interesting. From a very grounded place, they're showing me that they've been waiting for the right time or opportunity to open up, and it's coming soon. Okay? That's it. That's all I see. Yeah, but waiting for the right time to open up. Okay. Yeah, but no, this is a situation you stopped putting faith in a while ago. And you've gone about your business, you've gone about your world, you've gone about your life. So you don't know. Yeah, at first it's like, I don't know about that. But still, the end result is that I see that it touches you. Okay? Right there. All right, after that, you get to choose, honey. We all get to choose. But it looks like it means no harm. But that is a curious little tick right there. Been waiting for the right time to open up. So it's not random. What you might call a light or loosely structured idea of a plan, maybe. But yeah, that doesn't seem to mean any harm. No. Running. Ghosting, disappearing, invisible. A situation that you got distance from, disappeared from, or you felt like in some way this ghosted you, or made itself invisible to you, or disappeared from you. Okay? And running, yeah, it simply might be a verification that you or that person identifies as a runner. Doesn't have to be. But the way you moved on from this suggests you tried to get away from it, get distance from it, remain invisible to it. Okay. Obsession tried to pop out, infatuation, adoration, addiction. Once upon a time, there might have been some elements there. Adoration, addiction, I don't know. But it didn't fully pop out, so as it resonates. (34) Occupation. Oh yes, the both of you. You tend to your path. They have theirs. But I honestly believe that you two share overlapping circles, such as an environment, a shared environment, town, city, known community, members, friends, maybe mutual acquaintances, concerns. Concerns about occupation, concerns about work. Okay. Are you okay? Something like that. Do you need help or assistance? I don't quite know. 33, 34. Okay, we have one letter, T, and then we have 3 medallions, Scorpio, you, and Gemini. Of course, obviously, Aquarius. But you might have some very strong Gemini and or Scorpio in your chart. It could be a reflection of the season we're currently in, which is Scorpio, and then could be connecting too. Aquarius, honey, I hope this helped you. Honestly, I like the exchange here of care. That's there. That's real, that's authentic. So while it might be a planned sort of communication that looks officially like business on the surface, it runs deeper than that. I see some concern here. Okay? Maybe just checking in on you, making sure you're doing okay. You appreciate it. Okay? I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Gemini, what's up? What's going on? Show me, Gemini. What's up? Show me, Gemini. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but as I explain in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. Show me, Gemini, please. 4 of Swords, the Moon. Page of Swords. Where did you go? You went to a very deep place, I know that. 2 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and the 9 of Cups. 8 of Wands, the High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles in your overview. Wow, keeping quiet, minding your business. Steady path right now, but that's where you need to be. That pathway, 7 of Pentacles, yeah, you got stuff going on. You got things in the works. That's normal stuff. But it's it's in neutral, excuse me, at the moment. And that's probably where it needs to be because you're working through something. Some deep stuff. Secrets. Fantasies. Illusions. It's like, where did you go? Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, you might appear asleep to others, but no, there's a lot going on the inside. You're looking at some difficult things, but you need to, and you want to. I'm not telling you you have to, you're already doing it. 4 Swords, the Moon, Page of Swords. You're looking at some very deep emotions. Some of them are comfortable. Some of them are very uncomfortable. But you're learning. Learning. You're learning. 2 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. I have someone here who cares about you very much. They feel a way towards you all the time. 2 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. This person knows, they're aware. 9 of Cups, they're in tune with it. Okay? They understand that they care about you, love you in some way, yeah. They would like to express that to you. And so it is. 8 of Wands, the High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles. You both have a feeling that this communication was going to come through. You both had a feeling, and actually you both interpret it as being a good thing, as worth both your whiles. Queen of Pentacles is here. It's a good investment. It's a good conversation. Okay? I'm very curious to know what it is you're working through, but it kind of looks like a secret. I don't know what kind of secret that is, but it's secret to you. If you ever choose to reveal yourself, what you've been thinking about and contemplating on, indeed, that's a choice. That's definitely one of those personal choices. But it's the quiet you need. It's the reflection that you need. It's the peace and quiet you need to work through something. And in there, the Moon, we still have access to the intuition, by the way. But yeah, you both had a feeling that it was time for a conversation and that it would be good for you both. Okay? But yeah, this person cares about you. Three of Cups, Page of Wands, the Empress. Yeah, connectivity is imminent. And I say that with full respect. Three of Cups, Page of Wands, the Empress. You're both important people. So from the other person's perspective, when you connect to this, you're both persons of empowerment or worthiness or something like that. But yeah, when it's time to open up and connect, we will. Again, tarot is the proof of choice, not the absence of it, but I'm seeing the agreement here to talk and then maybe even do some face-to-face. And it's lovely. There's such a strong maternal presence here. It's intuitive, it's very supportive, and it cares about you a lot. Okay? It does. I would like to know a little bit more about that context, but I wish I did. I honestly don't know who that is to you. But I have to agree, the feeling is absolutely mutual that this conversation is worth both your whiles. You both interpret it that way, which is good. That's healthy. That makes me very pleased. So it's nice to see it go off the word and into reality. So that's lovely. It's good influence. Maybe this person will help you work through these things. You know? The Fool, the Moon, the Chariot. Oh, see, you're... Gosh, yeah. You might have some very distinct Pisces and or Cancer in your chart. There's so much water in there. I thought it was them. I did. I saw the Page of Pentacles, a little investment there. I thought they would start the dialogue. I think it's you. Is that what you had to go to rest over? You had to think about it. Why did you have to go to your secret places? Well, the Fool is behind that moon. You're wanting to open up is behind the moon. It's one of the things swirling around inside you, and that's something that you need, or you felt you needed to look at quietly. Why do I feel the need to open up to this? Why do I feel the need to open up to them? All I can tell you, it's the right person at the right time. They seem to understand you. You must feel safe with them in some way that they will understand these deeper issues. The Chariot, and then it moves forward, it comes out of the moon. It's you. Yeah, at first I thought it was them. Some of this activity is either around the full moon or post moon. Okay. $18. Of course, that's the power number associated with the moon. So, but in case any of you needed a numerical reference. Okay. I thought it was them. It's you. You got something on your mind. You need someone to talk to. Talk to them. They seem to understand you. Okay. And they do care about you. So that tells me they'd want to know. All right. Conflict. Clashing differences. Okay, conflict. Conflict over this. What's been on your mind? What's been in your spirit? What's been in your heart? Conflict. We don't want conflict. I don't see any. No, I don't. But you opening up about this in some ways causing you conflict, hence why you kind of went to what I would call sleep on the subject. You went to sleep. You needed to experience it for yourself or see it for yourself. Oh, soulmates. Lusting. Ooh. Again, either strictly applies or does not apply. Okay, there really is no in between. Conflict. Soulmates. We are hardcore desiring a soulmate and it causes you conflict. Is it the same person you want to talk to? Is that why it took it to such a deep place? Is that why it's such a deep secret for you? The person that you feel you can talk to the most, who can understand you the most, is someone who you strongly desire. Or this is a confidant, someone you can talk to about these conflicting feelings. I very much desire a soulmate. It is a combination of sexual energy, yes, but also deep love. It's both. I wonder. So are they that person? I didn't see the soulmate card, but that doesn't mean that they're not a soulmate to you or soul bond to you. Okay? I did see someone who is well equipped to listen and understand you. Again, this could be a confidant who you talk to about these conflicting emotions that you keep locked deep. Are they leaking? Sometimes it leaks. But for the most part, you keep it locked inside of you. Yeah, well, you have something down there that deep. Eventually you're going to have leaks. You think you wouldn't, but you do. The stronger that hidden conflicting emotion is, eventually it leaks. You just can't keep it to yourself. So I'd rather you open up about this dialogue with someone whom you trust than not. $26, great fortune. Okay, interesting. Has someone been blessed with great fortune? Decision. Oh, choice, great fortune. Conflict here about fortune, pathway, what has been accumulated in this life, the possibility of it, what we have versus the possibility. Choices, 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 choices. Some of you feel like you've been blessed with a great fortune. It's like, oh, what a dilemma to have. Well, I mean, I don't mean that sarcastically. It's like, oh, God, I have between this amazing choice and between that amazing choice. And why does that come up as a conflict, though? You weren't expecting another amazing choice? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that's you. The tulips. That is the lovers of the... that is the flowers of the lovers. It's not roses. It's not daisies. It's tulips. Oh my gosh. Unexpected choice, and a strong one. Why, oh why did it have to be them? Why did it have to be a soul bond? Why? I feel like I have half a mind to say I'm too old for this shit, and I don't know why, because that's not my thinking. That's really not my thinking, and from my point of view and my experience, and working with people in various roles over the years, you're never too old for anything. But I don't see that in the cards, by the way. That was just an impression I had. Goodness me. But nevertheless, I congratulate you on working through this. You showed me the moon twice, over the highest points of your emotional energy. Conflict indeed. Why, oh why? What's that movie? What is that movie? It's a classic movie. Is it black and white? It had to be you walking into my life at this. It had to be you. It had to be them. Yeah, it did have to be. How else was the universe going to get your attention? 26, 22, 9. A, C. That was, sorry. That took me a minute there. It's like, I didn't see A, C, even though I said it that way. I saw A and C. Okay. I don't know why they put the plus symbol there. And. Or? Is it a or? What am I seeing? A and C, A or C. Okay. I don't know, guys. That's up to you. Anyway, the letters are A and C. We have the medallion of Capricorn, Pisces, and double Gemini. You might have some real interesting Gemini in your chart. It could be a double, triple, quad. And even if you have a drop of Gemini in your chart, you might powerfully identify with it. Okay. Or perhaps it's in one of your houses. well, we all have a sign in the house. In our house. Perhaps Gemini's in your fortune house or your house of income or whatever. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I hope this helped you. Oh my. Talk to them, to whoever this is. They're a good ear, if nothing else. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Libra, what's up? What's going on? Show me, Libra. Show me, Libra. All right, like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but just explaining the intro. Reverse energies, as you see fit. Strength, Ten of Swords, Queen of Cups. You will overcome this, I promise. The Lovers, Page of Swords, Four of Pentacles. Ah, damn. Phew. I don't know that they're over you, and I don't know that you're over them, but I know that you will overcome this pain. Okay, Queen of Swords. Okay, looking at the world, Ten of Cups. I see. Okay, the Fool. Okay. You are trying to open up. You're trying to experience life in brand new, bold, fresh ways. You really are. It's something that you want to do, something that you want to feel. You don't want to hang out here in pain and hurt. You've been working so hard to overcome that. Strength, Ten of Swords, and kind of rein in the hurt and pain and not allow it to overrule your life. You said that you've been there, you've done that. And yes, you've hurt badly before. But that's not how you want to continue to identify. You want to be a person who is strong of spirit and strong of heart. Okay. You want to open up and experience love and life again, you know. So that's something that's been with you. Is that Ten of Swords. It is old pain. It's not something you experienced yesterday and you're like, oh, I'm over it. I'm ready for a new beginning. No. Anyone who talks like that, by the way, take that with several grains of salt. Strength, and I know some people who talk like that. We don't hang out often. Let me tell you, I can't stand the shallowness. Strength, Ten of Swords, and Queen of Cups. Yeah, no. Between your spirit, your strong spirit, and your strong heart, at Ten of Swords, you've experienced pain, but you didn't succumb to it. You've done what you could to move on beyond it, past it. It impacted you deeply, but you're also saying strength of will. I want to be open to life. I choose life. The Lovers, Page of Swords, Four of Pentacles. Wow. Very strong connection. It holds on to you. It does. You might even say it's stubborn. In a weird way, I'm kind of saying it as protective. I'm not quite sure why. But that can come along with the territory. It's that sense of stubbornness. Yeah, it can be seen as protectiveness. That this is mine, and that's why I'm holding on to it. That's why I still look at it, is because some part of my spirit or heart holds on to this, and I'm protective of it, not just stubborn. Okay, I am kind of seeing it that way. Lovers, Page of Swords, Four of Pentacles. But yeah, long story short, it holds on to you. It holds on to the connection still. You could say stubbornly. It keeps an eye on you. Page of Swords at the heart of the reading, so I know it's active. Again, it's not threatening. I don't see it as threatening. I don't know if it goes into a place of obsession. Perhaps it does, but it's hands off, but with a feeling that this is still mine. So it's hands off, but it's still mine, like this. Okay. Yeah, they look at you. They look at you. They hold on to the essence of your two's energy, or how they interpret you or feel about you, and it's like, this is mine. Okay, Queen of Swords, the World, Ten of Cups. You both share this. You both have your perspectives of that cycle. You see it one way, they see it another way. Okay, how you experience it, how you experienced it, how they experienced it, how they experienced it. So this is what you have in common. You can both in some way rationally, logically look at that cycle and understand rationally, logically why it ended. That doesn't seem to be up for contest. It's understood by both parties why this ended. Okay? No contest. 10 of Cups. It comes down to the inner circle. Did we make space for each other in our respective lives in a large-scale way? Okay. We couldn't or wouldn't make the space, one or both of you. I didn't really understand what my place was in their world, and they never really understood their place in my world, vice versa. A distinct role that harmonized amongst the other cups in our lives. So the inner circle's family, friends, spouses, kids, lovers. So here we might have had a failure to ID the connection appropriately and put it in its kind of place with the 10 of Cups. It could be that someone just refused point blank emotional expansion. What would that? Well, there's a lot of ways that could play out, like a ton of ways that could play out. It's like, I just want this to be between us. I don't want it to get too serious or too out there. Okay, whatever. And in which case it still wasn't allowed room to grow by one or both people. But here, classically, both people recognize why this closed out, and it had to do with the inner circle. One or both people could not or would not make space in the other's lives for more important, meaningful attachments or visibility or something like that, to be recognized by others. Okay? It's like, I don't want to introduce you to my friends or families. I just want to keep it between us. They want to keep it in that sweet, cozy connection of the lovers and not expand. I don't know. But there was a failure to expand here. You have a circle, they have a circle, but officially being in each other's lives in a higher capacity that was easily recognized, that was the issue. Okay? What is my role to you exactly? All right. I see you for the most part being open of spirit and in heart, and you really just want to open up. You want to be alive. They still hold on to you. I wish them healing in that. Will this ever come back around? I don't know. Let's get some advice. Because that's often what people... why? Because this is still energetically attached. That's why. That's why I'm saying it. And it's for those who resonate. That's all. Do I see it playing out in real world? No. In a way, you still play a role in their world because they watch you. But for the most part, it's non-interactive as far as I can tell. Will that change? I don't know. Did you love them? Okay, so people can only... Again, I read what's here, not what isn't. So, let me put it this way. Once upon a time, you used, because these elements already exist within you, the Fool, Strength, the Queen of Cups. Once upon a time, you showed these magnificent elements to this person. I'm a fool for you. I am strong for you. And I love you hard. Maybe I shouldn't put myself out there like that, but I'm a fool for you and I love you hard. So, at some point you use strength to push that towards them, and at some point you started to pull it away from them. And that's how strength works, because of the pain. Okay? I believe you showed me open spirit. Everything you're showing for yourself now, you once upon a time showed them, because that's who you are. An open spirit, strong for the reasons of love. But with pain, you had to turn it back around on yourself and say, I give these qualities back to me now. Okay, see how that works? So did you used to love this person fiercely and with that kind of protective energy too? Fiercely. I'm a fool for you. I admit it. I'm stupid. I'm a fool for you. Fiercely. I love you with an open heart. Maybe I'm stupid for that, but I'm doing it anyway. Fuck it. And now you don't. Okay, so I know this meant something to you. I know it did. But we can't keep arguing against the facts. Facts are facts. One or both of you refused to make space in the other's life as something significant. Okay? Give me a fucking role, or I don't know why I should be in your life. I need a title. I need a designation and all the rights and responsibilities that come with it. or I've got no place to be. You know? Four of Cups. King of Cups. Ten of Wands. Yeah, this wasn't, I believe that's you. This was not an easy thing for you at all. You got to that point where it was just incomprehensible. You couldn't continue, you could not continue to carry the weight of this disappointment. It hurt too bad. You showed me that Ten of Swords. You did. But I didn't know it was that bad. You love this with whole heart and was equally disappointed by it, devastated. It's like, I really love this. Just to realize we're not on the same fucking page. And I'm constantly carrying the weight of it because I'm more emotionally invested than they are. Or at least from your point of view at the time, that's how you perceived it. I'm more emotionally invested than they are. I see that. And from their point of view, perhaps it's like that lover's just for me and that's it. You know? I don't know. I really don't know, honey. I don't know why they hold on to you to this day, except they still feel deeply connected to it. Damn. Why is that always the case? Not always the case. I don't like using absolutes. Absolutes get us absolutely into trouble. But why is that often the case? Why does that happen? Now you don't know what you got till it's gone. Oh, the world, and then the love was born. Or the love was born after the world, you know, after the cycle ended. Then it's like, oh, I could have found the space. Okay. Oh. You know, the greatest teacher of all is history. Not just what you get in your textbooks as a kid, but your personal history. Oh, God. You weren't shy with your heart at all. In fact, you're saying your heart was foolish and bold for this person. But hey, you can't hold me back, right? I understand in the same way. Stupid, I know. But no, it isn't. It's what makes you you. Oh, but yeah, no, because the love was not apparent, it ended. Or the deeper love, the deeper meaning was not apparent, so it ended. Okay. And that's when it was born for the other side. Okay. All right. Well, I do hope, I didn't see any healing for this person. I'm hopefully it's there to some extent. But if it changes, it changes. It needs more time. Okay, I'm not advising you to wait. The Libra I'm looking at, you're not waiting. You are living. And you want to be alive. You want to be open to love. The beauty and glory of it all. Even if it means pain. Because it's like, how else do you know? Right? It's not worth being in love with if I don't take the possibility or the risk that comes with it that I might be hurt by it too. And that's what real love is. It's understanding that this could hurt me. But damn it, that's love. You know? That's what it is to be the fool with a big heart. You'd rather try than not. Boundaries. Boundaries. No, boundaries went up, drawing the line in the sand, just continuing. Something here crossed your boundaries. It looks like emotional boundaries. I clearly invested in this more than you did, and that's across the line for me. You know. Something like that. And withdrawn. Withdrawn. And withdrew. A solitary tree. Withdrawn. Keeping a distance. Did not confirm or deny. No response, no retort. Feeling lonely. Okay. I'm surprised I didn't get the stalemate. Yeah, I'm sorry. You have goals here that pertain to family. It has to make sense in your life. It has to be returned. That's the whole point of having a support system, is that you don't just give love and support endlessly. It's returned to you as well. Perhaps this person wanted to take, right, but not give it back. That would define the role, right? Okay. I don't know why I'm saying this, except that you two are still very much connected in some way. It also suggests that there's a possibility of something happening later down the line, but that's another reading for another day. Because there's still too much points of connectivity here, even though by all rights it's over. Snake, venomous, poisonous thoughts. What's that? Venomous thoughts about the future. Very venomous thoughts about the negative thinking about the future. 16, 7, storms. I didn't want to deal with the storms or the drama or the bullshit or anything like that, or the perceived notion of it. If somebody has a negative point of view, as we see with the venomous snake, about the future, it's going to be shot down, assumed as a negative. Okay? Create storms, fights, whatever, but time is a thief. Time is a thief, and as time goes by, we realize perhaps how the dialogue might have been very different if we had looked at it differently. Time is a thief. 24, 16, 7, 6. Yeah, I feel like time's slipping away. You see it as a good thing to move forward. They see time being lost. We have letters R, L, Z. We have the medallion of Scorpio. As I say, you might have some very strong water in your chart, particularly Scorpio. Also, we're in Scorpio season, so some of you are feeling very inclined to be open now. Okay, beautiful. Continue on with that feeling. Oh, I know. If I were to talk to a person and if I asked them, do you believe in soul bonds, they'd be like, probably not. But no, this is absolutely bonded. Yeah, and that's why I also have a feeling that perhaps it's not done playing its part yet. The loop has a tendency to come back around. To finish business, to finalize it, or to transform around it maybe. But I don't like to give false hope, and I didn't see that here today. The only thing I saw was a protective, steady, constant eye on you. This is where, in cynicism, I might say something jaded like, well, make sure you give them a good show, but I can't say that. If this person could have done things differently, I think they might have done. But anyway, Libra, at the end of the day, while this doesn't give you much to work with, it kind of does. I like to see where you are, and where you are is beautiful, and it's powerful, and it's natural to you. There's nothing forced about it. I love that. I love it when people show me their natural selves. And it's beautiful. I want you to continue to open to love and life. That is your goal. You concern yourself with your inner circle and it having meaning and context, so you make sure that that's what you're adding to, not taking away from. And if there's yet a part more to play with this connection, it will be revealed in time. Okay. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Taurus, what's up? What's going on? Show me Taurus, please. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but it's explaining the intro, reverse energies, as you see fit. Page of Swords, the World, 3 of Swords. You don't think too well of that. No. Page of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, the 7 of Wands. Oh, neither do they. Okay. 6 of Cups, 2 of Wands, Chariot. I know you're not liking this situation very much. You don't think very well of it. It hurts. Huge emphasis on that. It hurts bad. 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords. This was not your choice. Okay. This was not your choice. I don't know when this cycle happened, honey. I don't know if it was fresh. I don't know if it was yesterday. I don't know if it was at the yesteryears. It hurts. It hurts today, and it hurt back then. It just hurts. Hurts. Ow. Hurts. That's a lot of sword. And like I said, you don't have a very high opinion of this at all. No, I don't think it was your choice. No. That's a lot of hurt. I'm sorry. Over here, Page of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, 7 of Wands. They didn't want to make the choice. But they're showing me a sense of enforcement. I have to. They said it was hard for them. 10 of Wands is at the heart of the reading. They said this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Trust me, they weren't enthusiastic with that Page of Pentacles. You know. And it's of all the things to invest in, you know. I'm looking at this. The shared energy is beautiful. It's sweet. Simple. I'm looking at that shared energy and it just kind of pushes that crap to the side, you know. And I was thinking that Page of Pentacles, all the ways to invest. I'm looking at this. Got a couple pages here running around with this big mess. But looking at your two shared energy, I think this person would probably rather invest in making love to you than being at war with you. Because that's here. There's a heaviness. They associate this with responsibility that they did not want but enforce. 6 of Cups, 2 of Wands, the Chariot. Oh, God, yeah. Like I said, there's such a softness in there. A sweetness. I don't know what you believe of in terms of energy, spirit, okay, emotional connectivity, but that's where you two meet, is somewhere in the ethers of spirit and love and past. You two would both just like to ride with it. It really could. So I know, even if you don't believe in soul bonds, that's cool. We have many in this lifetime. We're not just relegated, to one person, i.e. a soulmate. That's why I say soul bonds. These are persons of impact. We typically have a history with in some way that you would describe as unique. You couldn't mistake that connection for anyone else in your life. It's very uniquely targeted to the other side of that connection. Okay, whoever you shared it with. So we have unique memories with them, a unique emotional flow. It's largely an undercurrent that's felt, not really expressed. But yeah, just the key word there is unique. Shared history, shared memory, shared cups. 2 of Wands, the Chariot. You two would love nothing more than to talk to each other. It hurts to look at that. And you're like, tell me about it. Okay, let's get some advice on this one, because I don't know. I read what's here, not what isn't. I say the theory of words, but will they be allowed out? I don't know. Okay. Let's get some advice, please. Two of Cups, 4 of Swords, the Empress. At least one person here has had a lot of time to heal on this. Okay. And there's a fondness to this day. There's still a love. And someone here is distinctly at peace with that. Okay? It settles into their heart as a known fact. It's a peaceful known fact for at least one person. That the love was authentically felt. Okay? And like I said, there's peace over the subject. It does not cause you or them, at least one person, any sort of turmoil there. It's accepted. It's felt and it's accepted. And we're at peace with this. And that kind of gives us a sense of peace over this connection, is that I can honestly say, I cared about you, I loved you, something like that. Okay? And that's empowerment for at least one person. It's a source of power. I can claim this as my truth. Okay? All right, that's good. That is good. So, given the roughness of that person's energy, You might be under the impression that they don't care or give a damn. That's just not true. And for your part, you cannot show me that much pain unless you had reason to be hurt. So I know in some way you felt for this too. It's here. Yeah, but you cannot break what you did not have. Clearly in some way you had heart for this, otherwise it couldn't be broken. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I see what's here, not what isn't. I don't know who's going to do it. You two are so alike in here. I don't know what you look like on the outside. I could give a shit. But your two's energies match pretty easily where it counts on the inside. In the ways you cannot see, but are felt. Okay. So I don't know who's going to do it. I just know someone will. All it takes is a little bit of nerve. But you two very much share energies. So it's interesting here. Chariot, Cancerian, water. Six of Cups, more water. Specifically, one of Scorpio's minor cards. Okay. But that's the emotional exchange. This is another kind of exchange, but also strongly felt. It's fire. Water and fire. Classic combination. Yeah, no, you two are crazy about each other in the heart, in the loin. But that aside, that's where I see you two connect so easily. It's just, it's very fluent. It speaks its own language. You two do. The outer language doesn't seem to match. The outer language is pain and separation and frustration and enforcement and agony and all the things that have sharp angles and edges. No curves, no softness. That's between you two. That's in the ether, the curves and the softness. It would be great if what's on the inside would match up to the outside. And it has potential to. So who's got the nerve? Doesn't take much. No, but you two are quite the pair. When you were connected, I bet you two gave off an energy. It's like, what's going on with those two? None of your business. None of your business. Yes. But also in the sweet, soft way. Okay. The emotion is still there, Taurus, honey. So is the longing. I know. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I see what's here, not what isn't. If I saw any unhealthy bullshit, I would have told you. And that's why people come around to this channel. I'm not the most popular, but I am going to tell you what's up. Okay? I don't like to play into false hope, so I see what's here, not what isn't. But I do have one distinct figure here who has thought about it many times, and they are at peace with the subject of their feeling for you, or you. Oh, to them. They like to get my attention, don't you? You know what? I just saw that. Oh, I just saw that. They do like to get my attention. Hope, yes. Hoping, yes, yes, yes. I see the hope, and that's part of fire, always. Hope is associated with fire. A little bit of nerve. Pride. Pride is an issue, perhaps. I was about to say that several times earlier. I was like, maybe the pride gets in the way. Maybe the pride gets in the way. For them, there's this huge need to safeguard. Defensiveness. There's a sense of I'm standing up for what I believe in, a sense of honor. Maybe pride is backing it. Maybe it's pride that you're associating with them or for yourself. I don't know, but pride. But nonetheless, hope is here as well. But yeah, no, the hope. Expecting, faith, manifesting. Oh, they do like to get my attention. That was a big pay attention. Beauty, somebody else got this earlier, I don't remember who. A lot of beauty in here. Okay. Charming, graceful, kind-hearted. All right. So, honey, I'm not trying to rub salt into the wounds. I actually, you both have a very soothing balm. It'd be nice if you could apply that to each other's wounds. That's you, 19. The Institute. Beliefs. What do you believe in? Are you prepared to stand by them, enforce them? But what do you believe in? Okay. And then number 19. Path. What's your pathway? How do you see yourself on it? Okay. Is this part of it, yes or no? That's it. K, T, Z, L. We have the Medallion of Gemini. Was there some Taurian influence in the Gemini reading? I want to say there was, but I could be wrong. Anyway, if you have some very strong Gemini or interesting or prominent Gemini in your chart, please check theirs out. I want to say your power cards made a couple appearances there. Anyway, could be wrong. And then also the Seashell of Cancer. So if you have any Cancers, check those out. I haven't done theirs yet, but yeah, perhaps check those out and then listen to your emotions. Absolutely. Okay, not just the pain. The other signals too, that are equally real and valid. So, even. Over here as well. So, who's going to do it? Who's going to put forward that Page of Wands? Little guy. Taurus, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments, take care. Be well. There you go. Welcome to your Sunday check-in. Show me Virgo, please. What's up? Show me Virgo. All right, like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but as I say in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. King of Wands, the Hermit, you, 3 cups. Oh, don't you look good? All right, Page of Pentacles, Chariot, 4 swords. Okay. Interesting. Knight of Cups, 7 of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. Okay. 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 The Empress and the Overview. Yeah. Very important. And I'm glad that you're feeling empowered, and I'm glad that you know who you are. That's good. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. You look good. King of Wands, the Hermit, 3 cups. Yeah, you've earned it. You've earned it. You've really been taking your time to take care of yourself. Your confidence has risen. You look good. You look like you're about to do something really important. You look spiffy. Calm but alert. Right? Wise but ready to learn more. Excited, wanting to be a person of presence, but still steady, calm. 3 cups. Yeah, you're interested in connecting, reconnecting. So the Empress might be them. It depends on how you perceive them. Someone who speaks well, again, to empowerment, possibly maternity, but someone who brings them to the world. They give into the world. Okay. All right, Page of Pentacles, Chariot, 4 swords. I don't know what you did, but you exhausted that person. I don't I don't mean like that. I mean, maybe it was like that. I don't know. Hi. If you're new to the channel, my name's Christina. I'm a little different. I have a sense of humor. It shows, guys. I laugh. I can't help it, and I don't want to help it. But yeah, no, it looks like you absolutely exhausted that person because you wanted to connect, reconnect. Page of Pentacles, the Chariot, and then I see the movement towards you. They make that investment. They do, Four of Swords, and then they go to rest almost immediately. So either you absolutely physically exhausted them, or you gave them a lot to think about. And they need to rest on that quietly. Four of Swords. That's what I'm opting for. It looks like you gave them a lot to think. That was my first impression, is why did they go to sleep right after connecting to you? But that's a metaphor for sleep. It's rest, reflection, insight, healing. But it's a mental process. Okay, so we're still thinking, but quietly. You gave them a lot to think about. They think about you. You think about the connection there. It looks like I'm seeing this after the fact. So you two either recently connected or reconnected, or you're about to. And this is a little further out. Knights of Cups, Seven of Wands, Knights of Swords. I have two people here, literally two knights. They take action, yes. They connect right there in the middle. They're both exercising caution, standards, or boundaries, but it's done so in a healthy way. It's clearly indicated to mind our P's and Q's, but still show up in an honest way and in a heartfelt way. So that's nice. But yeah, you must have given this person a lot to think about, because they went to rest on it almost immediately. So you gave them something like peace of mind. Your thoughts? I don't know. It's not chaotic in there at all. It's quite calm. Whatever it is that you connected over or bonded over, they found it incredibly soothing. Your words or your insight or your wisdom or your feeling, I don't know. But it's quite nice, actually. It's very... I don't know, there's something here that what you say or do puts their heart at peace or rest, you know? Let's get some advice, please. But yeah, no, I got two people here minding their P's and Q's, but I like the approach, actually. Somewhere between the thought, the action, and the straightforward mind, and the straightforward heart that's expressing themselves. Yeah, what's conveyed is meshing quite well, all right? But yeah, being mindful. Being very mindful. The Hanged Man. Justice. Yeah. Yeah. You did give this person a lot to think about. You gave each other a lot to think about, but for them it seems to have a significant enough impact that the first thing they did is they went home and they're like, I gotta lay down. I've got a lot to think about. Oh, honey, you gave them a lot to think about. You've had a lot of time, though. The Hanged Man, Justice, Nine of Cups. Like I said, there's so much soothing in the heart. There's so much soothing in the heart. There's so much peace there. Balance. You gave them something that they could balance against themselves with. It gave them peace. A sense of everything's okay. Or it's balanced, or it's fair, or what I was feeling was correct. I don't know what you did, honey, but that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I don't know if you're always a natural healer, but at least when it comes to this person, whatever it is you do is like that for them. You gave them enough to work with here that put their heart at rest. And it was correct. It was very balanced. It was very correct. Okay. There it is, a manifest, and there's the Seven of Wands again manifesting. So you've both been desiring this in some way. With caution, sure. Respectful boundaries, yes. But you've both been manifesting this. It was more imperative to say what needs to be said, above all. But it was done so in a very respectful, tactful way. Okay. And when it's done, it's done so well that you... I don't know, you soothe this person's spirit with what you share with them. Okay? And all I see is that it bounces against their heart. And in some way, you too. It gave you relief to speak to this. Okay? Spiritual relief, mind you. So, anyway, this is lovely. I don't quite understand the nature of your two's connection. But, that's interesting. Ace of Cups, Sun, the Devil. There's a fear here. It was an old fear, I believe. What I'm seeing now is positive balance and this space of understanding. I get it now. Like understanding. Understand? And that's what gives this person peace. It makes sense now. So that tells me then that's an old fear. Fear here that someone, the heart was empty. Very much afraid that there was no real happiness there. Very much afraid that someone was emotionally absent for the whole experience. And that it didn't, long story short, that it didn't mean anything for them. So warmth, the significance of the sun, happiness, Eight of Cups, someone who's emotionally absent from the happiness or just the experience overall, or it didn't make them happy, or again, it had zero impact, and that was somebody's fear. It was a really high fear that it meant nothing. Someone could care less. That was a empty experience for somebody, I guess you could say. It's like, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. It's an old fear, it's not a current one. I see so much peace over this subject now. So I don't know if you're this person's friend, advisor, or perhaps they were afraid about that for you one time, that you weren't present, or that you didn't care. I don't know. It's not an accusation. This is reconciliation. Okay? No. Reassurance. Reconciliation. You give them something to work with that puts them at peace. Okay? But I can see that prior to that, that might have been twisting up in somebody's heart. Okay? A lot of fears there that it meant nothing. It was an empty experience. That wasn't true. Apology. Some of you, FYI, Virgo might be your Venus placement, doesn't have to be. Whenever I see the red rose, I try to make it a point to remember to say that. The bright red rose. But here we have the apology, only you. Attached to, I craved, I attached myself, felt in some way devoted to you. I craved you. Only you, apology and or forgiveness. Only this could have happened with you or in context to you, but only you. That word crave is blazing letters there, crave. It's really standing out there. Okay. Courtship is some sort of relationship. It's hard to define, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Unexpected income, 27. Lack of resources. Here in the Pentacle, I'm seeing it. Here we have the scythe. Harvest. I don't know. Pentacle here. Time, energy, effort, resources. I didn't have those things. Maybe. I almost got that weird impression. It's almost about to say I couldn't pay my dues. I couldn't pay back. I couldn't invest. I wasn't in the space or able to invest, available to invest. I didn't give back. I didn't know how to. There's something here about I reaping what I sow. I got what I deserved. Something like that. I don't quite know. It's a bit heavy there. And yet, so much peace is gained. Very soothing. 4, 10, 27. Because there's some sort of relationship here where I think point blank someone could not give back, and I'm saying the metaphor for it. Couldn't or wouldn't, and they knew they should have or supposed to. Time, energy, effort, resources, that includes feelings. It was some sort of relationship, but it looks like it didn't go down so well. So Ace of Cups, the Sun, and the Devil. It's like it really, despite the lack of investment, I think that's one of the things that allowed to creep in as a fear. This didn't mean anything to you because I'm saying lack of investment, something like that. It's kind of like 2 + 2. This is what it looks like on the surface. I'm part of something where one person can't give back. It must be an empty experience. It must not mean anything to them. So kind of like that. It might have been situational or circumstantial then, as I'm saying it. Okay. Anyway, that was quite a bit. That was quite a bit off a couple of cards, you know. F, J, we have one medallion, that of Leo. You might have some very strong Leo in your chart. Could be connected to it this season. Might be important to you. And the crescent moon. You know, there might be some activity that takes place around the next crescent moon. So we are going to be in the exiting full moon. I don't know if it's waxing or waning, guys. It's either one or the other. Either way, it leads to a crescent moon. And then after that, it's new moon. So, by the light of the next crescent moon, possibly. Or around the time of the moon in some way. All right, Virgo, honey, I do hope this helped you. It's very interesting. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, what's up? What's going on? Show me Capricorn, please. Like always, we're going to start with your seventh board, but as I explain in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. Page of Swords, the Magician, the Chariot. Wow, good job. Six of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hierophant. Huh. Okay. 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 Ace of Cups, Judgment. Oh, okay. So it is. Yeah, it's coming back. All right. To be clear, I don't see this as a threatening situation. It's just this is the progress of time as we see it, or as you might experience it. Time catches up to us all. And, you know, things have a way of playing out when they play out, when they're ready to. Okay. The Sun. I know. See, I don't see your manifestation tied to any situation or person. It's non-specific. You're just like, I'm open. I'm open to happiness. Whatever that subject is, I'm into it. I just see you literally as the definition of pursuing happiness right now. You're open to the sun, the happiness, the warmth. You want that. Page of Swords, the Magician, Chariot. Don't get me wrong, we started out small, but given time, with more and more access to what makes you happy, you just want more and more to move in the direction of what's good for you, what's right for you. Oh, that's it. Like I said, it's a very non-specific manifestation, which is good. That means you're open to receive the right energies and opportunities as they become available to you. And that's all you want. What's good for me, what's right for me, what brings me joy. And I'll move towards it, you know? I'll move towards it. It's like you head in the direction of the sun, not away from it, you know? That's beautiful. I love it. That's great. That's a lovely, open-ended spirit around your manifestation and your principles of happiness and forward momentum. That's wonderful. Okay, Six of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant. Okay, we know what this balance is. We're familiar. We're familiar with it. It's something you used to balance with, and I know that because they're saying the same thing I used to balance with you. Okay, so Six of Pentacles is very on the surface. It's presented in the 3D world as very operable and or manageable. Okay, it's a give and take back and forth. And again, anybody can see it, witness it, participate in it if it's allowed as part of the balance. Okay, so it's a very generic cover term in tarot that suggests this happened in reality. It was a 3D thing for you. It's not necessarily tied to just work. It's anything where, again, you agree to go back and forth in a situation, place, circumstance, or with a person for whatever reason, and you get something back from it. But once more, the emphasis is on the surface. It's easy to understand. Okay? If there's anything complex behind it, that's between those two. So you both understood that you participated in a balance once upon a time. Fast forward. Wheel of Fortune's at the heart of the readings, though I know it's been a minute. And the Hierophant. So this thing is swinging back around, and it seems to show up a lot more aware of itself, a much stronger imprint than you last recognized it. You last recognized it as a Six of Pentacles. It's deeper context. We'll get to that. But it's like, okay, that was a Six of Pentacles. I used to balance with it, right? Wheel of Fortune, time passes. The person whom you used to balance with shows up, but they seem to be more solid as the Hierophant. More solid. You could even say more committed to being a person of presence, maybe. Okay? Okay. All right. But they're showing me a spiritual connection to you, bare minimum. They seem to be solid, though. Now, shared. This is where we understand Six of Pentacles on the surface. What was going on was deeper. Ace of Cups, Judgment, Two of Cups. You both shared this. Okay. One of you had a lesson about being emotionally unavailable and knowing that. And one of you had a lesson on having to walk from someone who was emotionally unavailable and knowing that. And now it's kind of time to see what you both learned. It seems like you two have both learned that after all this time, there really is some authentic care and affection in there. There's what was operating on the surface was some sort of balance. And it seemed like the deeper lesson was, see, don't get involved with someone who's emotionally unavailable. A balance is a balance is a balance. Don't treat it more than it is. And for the other person, they had to learn, maybe you shouldn't participate in balances where you can't be more emotionally present. And then kind of treat it like it's no big deal. So that was a dual lesson there. Which lesson is which is up to you. But one of you had one of them, yeah. And then the other had the other lesson. The Two of Cups, so on the other side of this is that time has passed and it seems we have authentic care and affection for this in some way, yes. Some authentic love, yes. So I like that, they're showing up with a stronger sense of self. And it's an acknowledgement that, no, this was more than a Six of Pentacles. I'm more spiritually tied to this. I understand that now. Okay? And for your part, you're just saying, hey, man, I'm manifesting in the direction of the sun. So that means that in some way, this was meant to reemerge. It meets the criteria for your manifestation. I want to move forward into that which makes me happy. So you knowing this in some way makes you happy. Okay? You knowing this makes you happy. Now, will you stay here in that space with them? I don't know about that. That's another reading. But if you continue to move forward, I see that you are happier for knowing this than not. Okay? Okay. Oh. Eight of Swords, lots of doubts, lots of confusion over the subject. Once upon a time. All right? Five of Pentacles, the Devil, you, and the Empress. Yeah. There's something about this connection in the past when you look at it. It represented some of your best times and some of your worst times. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It brought out some of the best in me. It brought out some of the worst in me. This connection did. You see how deceiving something as simple as a Six of Pentacles can be, depending on what two people are bringing to that balance. So on the 3D, it might have looked like a simple back and forth. There was a lot more going on. But you distinctly just said, this is bringing out some of the best in me and the worst in me. And particularly as it relates to your fears of abandonment, 5 of Pentacles, which we all have in some way to some extent. But with this one, you felt it acutely. Like, I'm going to have to break from this and I know it. And that scared you. But knowing that you could and acting on it also made you feel empowered, yes? Anything else, please? But this obviously taught you a lot about yourself, particularly once more emphasizing happiness, and you had to earn that feeling. You had to find your way into it and keep it and sustain it, and then say, I'm open to this for the rest of my life. I will navigate by the sun. So if that's true, then this is coming forward because it's operating under that manifestation of sun. This would make you happy. You'd rather feel this and know this than not, right? I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying it's here, honey. Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords and the Tower. Yeah. See, there's a lot of misunderstandings that are going to get addressed. Okay? In regards to feelings and thoughts. The things you most likely had to conclude for yourself in order to give yourself peace and to move on. Okay? So we're going to learn a lot. We're not done learning. And no, that's true. We're never done learning. But you've done very well for yourself since this. All right. But yeah, this might make for an interesting stop along the way. I have to insist. It's on the path, and if you stop to allow it to receive its message, you might feel happier for it. Okay? That's up to you. Ecstasy, chasing thrills, excitement. Yeah, you thought it was an empty experience, maybe for them or for you or something like that. Again, there was this idea of it's on the surface, it looked like it was a simple back and forth, but clearly somebody was emotionally unavailable, and the other person had the lesson to not get attached to that. So we kind of had to build up these defense mechanisms in our heart and in our mind about what happened. Oh, it was a cheap thrill thing, it was excitement, it was a good time, it wasn't a real connection. It was real to you because you're showing me such huge emphasis. It brought out the best in me and it brought out the worst in me. But it's kind of like, how do you account for the other side? You know? Maybe it felt like a breadcrumbing situation to you at the end of the day. But, yeah, it probably felt at the time that it was a case of chasing thrills, excitement. That's part of the things that we need to get confrontational about. I understand why you concluded that. I do. But that's one of the misunderstandings that's going to get addressed. Okay. And spying, social network, information, ways. Somebody has ways. They have a way of looking. They have a way of learning. So, yeah. Spying, social network, yeah. Information, somebody has their ways. Is that something somebody says, you or them? I have my ways. Oh. Looking, insight, perceiving, social network. way of checking in on social media, of course. Okay. Again, I have to maintain what comes forward is non-threatening. It's kind of like working oneself up before we do the thing. Okay. Great fortune, 26. Okay. Some of you might have amassed a great fortune, in which case, congratulations. You've been working very hard. Mature woman, that's either you or them. But some of you, you have accumulated a great fortune and you're a mature woman. That just, in this deck, it kind of just means middle-aged and over. But somebody who has that sense of wisdom, authority, and empowerment that you would associate with the Empress, okay? But someone who has done the work, produced well, okay? But yeah, 6/26. Oh, sudden wealth. Some of you, sudden wealth. Great fortune. Perhaps it was a case of sudden wealth, in which case, again, congratulations. For others of you, it's because you've been working all your life. And you've done well. You've done very well. Well done. E, W, D, 2 Ds, and M. We have the medallion of Pisces. You might have some very strong Pisces in your chart. Could be connected to the season, might be important to you. Okay, Capricorn, honey, this one was interesting. Congratulations. And then also just moving towards that which makes you happy. That in and of itself is joy. It's absolute joy. I have to maintain. This crosses your path because it matched your frequency. And I'm glad you get to know this. This is good. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, what's up? And happy birthday. Show me, Scorpio. Show me. Scorpio. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but as I explained in the intro, reverse energies, as you see fit. Okay. The moon, the sun, 8 of Wands. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. 4 of Cups, Knights of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Was not. I don't know what I was expecting today, but I didn't know it was going to be all that. You know. Okay, but it's interesting. It's really interesting. 7 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, that's going to be the hard part. It seems. Overview. You look great. You're so jazzed up. Enthusiasm. Bright and shiny. Taking care of yourself. Glowing from the inside out. Very attractive. Very warm. Very inviting. Sexy. Turned on. You know, little go-getter. Some wonderful qualities, and they kind of show. Spiritually, you got stuff firing off. So the reason I went, whoa, just on your downline, you got the moon and the sun. So that's what you call a divine combination. It's not very common in tarot. So 8 of Wands, something has been maneuvering in the background for you that's going to give you great joy. You didn't know it. It's also going to provide what you might call a divine opportunity to balance. But this goes a little bit more off the books from justice in terms of technical or legal or spiritual balance. It's more of an emotional opportunity for something that perhaps you deeply desired and you didn't know it was coming through. It deeply desired, maybe you didn't know you needed this until it shows up. That kind of thing. But yeah, that's the sun. It's been developing, and it is going to arrive in the form of happiness, perhaps unexpected happiness, or something that was deep down inside you and you didn't know would make you happy until it shows up. Okay? Okay. 4 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Okay. Someone here is showing me upset. I'm upset. I'm hurt. Loneliness, I don't know, I've been on my own, it's not fair, something like that. Knights of Pentacles, very slowly though. Very slowly pulling away from that emotion. Learning to kind of feel their way out of that. Knight of Pentacles, no rush. But slowly peeling away from that emotion. And saying, that's not me. I don't want to be stuck here in these shitty feelings. I want to move forward. And they did. And step by step, they moved into a better position of the heart, is Ace of Cups. So I'm actually quite proud of this person. Because that's no easy thing to do. It's so easy to get lost to the Four of Cups, and the next thing you know, you're dealing with a Five, and you're lost to the past. So, Knights of Pentacles. They've worked hard to get out of that bad feeling, and into an Ace, and it's shining through to you. Okay, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful heart space. Okay, we ought to know. It's our master symbol. So you could be connecting to fellow Scorpio, but that's not the point. It's this is going to be so much brighter than the hurt behind it. Okay? The heart space for this person's changed quite a bit. Now did a 180. Which is good. It always amuses me because I hear it all the time. I still bring it up because I still hear it to this day when I go to like I don't know, any sort of function, conference, weddings, whatever it is, there's always somebody saying, I did a total 360, man. And then I'm thinking, then you're right back to where you started, ass clown. It's like, sorry. It's one of those things where I cringe. No, you did a 180. In other words, you're in a completely different position. Anyway, this person did a 180. It's so good for them. That's wonderful. I'd like to know how they did it. But it took time. All right, 7 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, what you two share. You both share, in some way, experience with abandonment around emotional issues. 7 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. At some point, you two experience this with each other. So, we tried. It looks like we tried to find space in each other's lives, but we kind of failed. 5 of Pentacles. We built into it, but there was something wrong with the investment. It wasn't consistent, or somebody frankly didn't know what they wanted at the emotional level, which is what I'm leaning towards. But you both experienced the disappointment of it. Okay. You both felt hurt and disappointment and rejection the same. But it seems like one person really struggled to understand what did they want emotionally from this. What did they want to experience? And that's perhaps the last point of reference you have for this. Okay, so here you have something that was deep, I believe, within inside you, and you didn't know it would make you happy, but deep down inside. Resolution around this, a real conversation around this, deep down inside you, where perhaps you weren't able to access it or admit it to yourself. Being able to talk about this would bring in much joy. Okay? A sense of peace, things settling into place for you. But yeah, if that was the issue before, not so much now, or the opportunity for it, which is good, which is very good. Yeah, that's what caused the separation. Chariot. 5 of Pentacles, the abandonment specifically, not understanding what we wanted from this. How do we perceive ourselves in each other's lives? What's our role? What's our meaning? What's our importance? And it's like, I want to put into this. I want to. But it's like the structure for some reason was impossible for one or both of you. Okay. Let's get some advice, please. Four of Cups, there's the unhappiness again, Page of Wands, King of Cups. Okay, there it is, opening up to you. There it is. But also, again, very admirable. 4 Cups is there twice. Pushing past that, getting past it, and finding bigger emotion, bigger heart. That's really admirable. They did a good job. Really getting in tune with those feelings. Dang. I wonder how long that took, though. Yeah, to see it opening up into bigger feelings, that of fuller acceptance and love and what one wants to feel in a much deeper way, in a much more connected way. Okay. Nine of Cups, just water everywhere. The strength. Okay. And more Five of Cups. Yeah. Yeah. It did. It took strength. It really did. It took strength to not let it become our past. I mean, it took a lot of strength to not succumb to this, the sadness of it. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's so much freaking water. You're also showing me high levels of empathy. So not only does this seem to be a little bit unexpected for you, you're showing me a strong emotional reaction to it. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying that's there. You know? And Eight of Swords, there's so much confusion. Okay, I'm just going to get more of the same shit. So it's a lot of emotion that's getting cleared up and out of a space of confusion. Somebody went really low. Really low. I probably thought they'd never get out of it, but they are. They did. It feels like a misfiring, like this failed to line up, but that's okay. No, it didn't. It didn't. In the greater scheme of things, what needed to happen is what's happening, so that's good. It's beautiful. Man, I would love to push it further. I would like to see more of the mechanics, but there's just so much emotional depth here. It tells me a lot of this was stuffed way down. Not just for you, but for them too. A long time of hurting. Okay. A family. I know, that's Ten of Cups. Inner circle is important. Finding space in each other's lives. Yeah. Somebody might have a family, you know. You might have kids, they might have had kids. Not knowing how to invest in that and how to open up to it, be part of it. Yeah. I didn't know if they were ready for that kind of emotional expansion. I don't know. And then the open heart. Receptive, empathy. I told you, I said you have a huge empathetic response to this. You do. I told you it was empathy. Yeah, you meet them with an open heart. I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying that's just what's there. You're empathetic. You really are. Receptive to what they have to say. Resistance. Secret admirer, suppression, timid resistance. Somebody was scared to go all in. Yeah, someone was really scared to go all in, and that's something you understand. And I think that's why you're showing me such a huge amount of empathy. There's a big difference between sympathy and empathy. You have empathy. You showed me that you understand, so I know that you are emotionally connected to this person, and you may never expected to hear from them again, but this is something that you needed in as much as they did. Okay. All right, let's keep on. Sudden wealth, I don't know about that, but some of you, congratulations, that's wonderful. Maybe you played your lottery, or maybe it's not sudden, but there's a sense of instant winner. And then also just 11 November. Sometimes it's the numerical reference. That's why I always call out the numbers. Sudden wealth, though, for some of you. Okay. Oh, lovers. Oh, why did that feel weird? Oh, my God. But like a good weird. Did that make sense? That felt like a good weird. Sudden wealth, lovers. All of a sudden, it's just all of a sudden, it was everything all at once. Just sudden access. It might have been a lot for somebody. It was everything all at once. A strong connection, the promise of family, the promise of deep love. I don't know. It might have just been a lot for the one of the both of you, and it's like, this is too good to be true. This is too strong. This is hell happening now. Why is this happening now? Because that's life. Life happens now. It already happened yesterday. Can't do that again. Ideally, we shouldn't. And we don't know about the future. So life happens now. Be present. And that's why today is a gift. But yeah. And then also this could specifically be speaking to the 15th. It doesn't have to be like that tight, but who knows. 11:15. It's like, there's no way this is all happening. It's so much water here. But I can tell you when you two talk, you understand. You're showing me a strong emotional surge to the words. So that this conversation goes deep. It's what you needed, but you also didn't seem to know that you needed, and it was cooking in the background for you anyway. Isn't that nice? Okay. So many letters. J, R, C, F, G, and P. Hey! To Scorpio, we have the lotus flower as well as the actual medallion. Okay. So our season. Yep. Now, this is happening now, or soon enough. It's Scorpio season. Anyway, you might be double, triple water. Scorpio. Hi. Lotus flower, the beautiful unfolding of things, the mystery of life as well. You know, that old mystery. But things that initially on presentation don't make sense because it's closed up like this and it takes time and then it unfolds beautifully the way it was supposed to. It's nature. Okay. And then we have the little bit of a peacock here. Oh, that's you. That's 1,000. I mean, you opened up with it. You're like, what? I have a style. You do have a style. It's a little peacock. Yeah, you can say it's ego, but also some of us like how we look or display. Yeah, I always say it's like displaying the feathers. It's like you got energy. You know, people show it in different ways. And yours is you glow. You know, you have a certain presentation. I know. And then I go, always get the stodgy folks. Do you know the peacock, the one that you're referring to, is technically the male? Yes, I understand that. And yet putting on a show is putting on a show. There's always somebody, always, who's like, well, I don't want to be that person, but you're about to be. I know. So true. Anyway, Scorpio, honey, this one was interesting. Very. I really would like to take more time with this. There's just so much to impress upon the emotional construct here, and getting out of the negative emotions to bring it up to present day. It's actually quite admirable. I'm kind of proud of that person right there. Okay. And you too. You're doing great, obviously. I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Pisces, what's up? What's going on? Show me Pisces, please. Show me Pisces. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but it's like explaining the intro, reverse energies, as you see fit. Show me Pisces. Judgment, Seven of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. All right. Oh. Okay. All right. Page of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Three of Cups, shared, the Hanged Man, Page of Wands, Three of Swords. Okay. Overview, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're not all just hanging out in the spiritual realm. No, you got things going on. Eight of Pentacles. In fact, many of you might be through or working through a very busy work cycle at the moment. You could be hitting stride with that. Just busy, active, staying grounded overall. But over here to look at you, it's like you've been lost to space. Judgment, Seven of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. It's like, where's Pisces? Well, comprehensively and literally over time, you have been working very hard to release negative judgments, self-doubts, things that have been holding you back, imposing beliefs, false beliefs, just mostly self-doubt. Any sort of negative thinking on your part about yourself or this connection, learning to release it, just letting it go. Letting it go. And if you can believe it, trying to suspend judgment of yourself simultaneously. So, a lot going on in there. It may not seem like it, but there is. That all takes place over a period of time. Complicated. But you've done some good work there. Releasing a lot of self-doubts too, which is good. And trying so hard not to be so hard on yourself. Page of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Three Cups. Whomever this is in their own way, they'd like to reinvest in this. The Hierophants at the heart of the reading, so I know in some way they feel bound to you, perhaps in a spiritual way. But they mean it. That's all they're really telling me is their conviction. They'd like to connect to you or reconnect to you. Make something happen. And they're kind of committed to that. The Hanged Man, page 1, 3 swords. You both, this is the shared line technically. Sometimes I'll see it break off and be one energy, but here it's both. The Hanged Man, page 1, 3 swords. You've both had a lot to think about in terms of heartbreak. How you have hurt each other, maybe. Right? They've had time to think about it. You have to. And that's one of the things, like I said, I see you working on. Try not to judge yourself so harshly or give in to the worst fears of your mind about yourself or this connection. And then, for any heartbreak here, for your side, learning to work through it and release it. Okay? Them too. And you know what? Despite the obvious admission between you two that you both suffered hurt and heartbreak at each other's hands, they're still saying they would, in a good way, they'd like to circle back to your two's connection. And spend time with you in some way. Okay? It's not a lot, but it's something. I'm curious to see how you perceive that. And I know that you've been working hard, staying focused, staying grounded. Good, good. And I'm sure they have too. Let's get some advice, please. Ace of Swords, confusion, the Sun, Ace of Wands. Okay. We don't know. You don't know. But you saying I'd rather lean into hope. Okay. The Sun, Ace of Wands. I think they would too. And that's one of the things you have to learn to release the negative thoughts. If you have real valid hope for this, then I want you to express it. If you don't, then don't. Okay? Two of Wands, Five of Cups, the Chariot. Yeah, I mean, let's not pretend that you two don't have a past. There is. That dialogue is there. But nonetheless, there is an opportunity here to move it forward beyond the past, if you're so inclined. Okay? I don't know that it's long-term. I don't know if it's happily ever after. I don't know. Perhaps it might even be reconnect just long enough to find the good in each other's company. But I know this, if it feels bad and wrong, then don't. But if you can still find some warmth and hope in this, then maybe, yeah. Okay? Anything else here, please? Seven of Cups. I'm saying it's up to you. It's up to you to be open to this. Tarot Lady doesn't say anything. I'm not. It's the cards. So it's your choice to be open to this if you want to share. Okay, be open to the feelings, to exchange. You can. I see that they're down, or you know. You might learn a few things. Who knows? It might be good for a laugh. I honestly don't know. They're not asking for a lot, and you're not under the impression that this would have happened anyway. So, I don't know. I just kind of see two people learning to sit comfortably in each other's company and feel good about it, even if it's for a couple of hours. You've done such a good job releasing self-doubt. I don't even know that you have questions anymore. So I don't know what your gain would be. I don't know that you would necessarily have a benefit to connecting to this, other than the fact that it might feel good to do so. And maybe that's all you need to know. I mean, you've really done a good job. You've done a good job. Not doubting yourself for that connection to them anymore. You just, somehow you really did learn to let it go. So it's not that you need any answers or anything. It's just because it feels right. And when you think about it, when we talk about reconciliation, even if it's for, like I said, a couple of hours, okay, a day or a night, that's all we're really talking about. See if it feels good. Family. Okay, many of you, perhaps you are concerning yourself with your Ten of Cups at this time. You're in a circle. Maybe you have a family, maybe you're a parent. Okay. I don't know. Oh, realizations. Oh, epiphanies, understandings, awakenings. Realizations about family and what's important. Does this person in some way feel like family to you? And that's why. You may not have the big reasons anymore. You may not have the need anymore. You don't have any questions you need answered anymore, but perhaps you're connecting to them because in some way they still feel like family or they feel like home. Okay? Maybe that's all you needed. Maybe that's all they needed. The two of you, maybe. Okay. 10, time of harvest. The scythe. What of it? Horizons. Oh. Pathway. Okay, so this was cut some time ago. Distant horizon, fast forward. Wheel of Fortune. Pathway. This is on your path. Okay, and now we see the fruits of our labor. I know it seems like we cut this some time ago, and from your point of view, it indeed was exactly that. But that doesn't mean it wasn't back on your path for one reason or another. You know? 10, 36, 35. B and Q. We have a little owl, wisdom, great insight, big eyes, highly observant, intelligent. And then we have the dragon in reverse upside down. This is not a fire-breathing situation. No anger. No anger, no crushing energies. No crushing of the enemies here. No setting blazes to anything. Nothing like that. No one taking charge or looking for a power trip. Okay? Just using basic insight. This is either something that you want to do or you don't. Pisces, I don't quite know what this is. It's a little too vague for me. I do like a little bit more hard lines, but that's not always the case. In some way, you recognize this person like home or like family, even though it doesn't feel like family. Maybe it is. But there is acknowledgement that hurt was taking place on both sides. And that for your part, you did your best to understand it and release it. You're forgiving yourself for forgiving them too, and I'm not saying you have to. I would never say that. I'm saying it's already done. Like I said, you don't have any questions that need to be answered. You're not even showing me things like apology. I say you connect to this because in some way it feels like home to you. And they're showing me some sort of spiritual devotion when it comes to your two's connection, even if it's for a little while. Okay. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Cancer. What's up? Show me Cancer, please. What's up? Show me Cancer. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, yeah? But as I explained in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. Seven of Wands, Knights of Cups, Three of Swords. Man, it's making the rounds today. That's all right. It's all right. That tells me people want to work through it. All right. Two of Wands, the Fool, the Six of Wands. Yeah. Okay. Knight of Wands, Nine of Cups, Page of Swords. Oh. I feel like you two are playing peekaboo with each other, but it's not bad. Okay. Yeah. By the light of the moon, things are being revealed as we speak. It's cooking in the background. Okay. So Two of Cups. Yeah, I can see that you two care about each other. You do. A little more than that. We understand in some way that you feel some sort of love and they do too. Okay, Two of Cups tends to be a little more vague. You can have Two of Cups with anybody, family member or friend. And then someone whom we're interested in, but we might be having problems with. Okay. So that's kind of what we're saying here today. You two care about each other, and I think you get that. You can kind of feel it, right? It's not that you're working with nothing. You're working with something. And you know that. Now, you're showing me I've been hurt. Seven of Wands, Knight of Cups, Three of Swords. I've been hurt. But you're also kind of showing me I'm a good sport. I'm willing to see past that. Don't ignore the hurt, right? I don't think you're ignoring it. It's there. I do want it addressed. I do. It would be good for you. The heartbreak, you're heartbroken, you're hurt. I want you to be able to say that at some time, okay? But I admire your kind of brave, emotional demonstration there. It's like I'm still I'm still willing to open up to this. Boundaries. Seven of Wands with caution, yes. Still. It's the romantic in you, honey. What are you going to do? It's the romantic in you. Cancer might be your Venus placement. It might be your moon placement. I'm not saying getting trampled on. I'm just saying your heart's not done. It's exhausted. It hurts, but it's not done. You said you're not done. You got a soft spot for this one. What can I say? Two of Wands, the Fool, Six of Wands. Yeah. They would. Yeah, they would. In fact, they would welcome it, the opportunity. That might shock you. It might surprise you, but that's what they're showing me. It kind of lifts their spirits considerably to see you. And you're showing me my heart hurts. It's been aching. You know what you kind of remind me of? It's like Knights of Cups and Three of Swords. It's like any kind of movie you would expect to see in the 80s. It's like, I'm hurting bad, babe. I don't want to tell you. I don't want you to know how bad it hurts, but it hurts. It's like that. It's more like you're showing me a masculine hurt. But you still need to express yourself. So it's not that it's inauthentic, no. But there's this kind of reservation here to express it, or hesitation, I should say, to express the pain. So you still want to show up and put your heart space forward, but it's like, I don't want to show too much of that, though. I don't want to show how much I've been hurt. It's kind of like that. Yeah, that's probably the best way I can describe it. You still got a poet in there, but he's a hurt poet. Okay. Two of Wands, the Fool. So yeah, long story short, yeah, just, it's weird because I'm looking at you, I'm like, there's no way you're expecting that reaction. There's just no way. Jubilant. They look jubilant to hear from you, or to be talking to you. It lifts their spirits considerably. So I don't think you're expecting that, but that also kind of tells me that maybe they were hurting on their own and you have no clue. But yeah, because that was a very enthusiastic yes. So I feel like I'm telling on that person, but but also it's like their energy is really kind of just happy to see you. It really is. Maybe they were hurting too. That would be my first guess. Perhaps they'll show me an advice. Now, Knight of Wands, Nine of Cups, Page of Swords. Oh, like I said, you got some runaway eyeballs, and you look at each other and you can't. I'm still kind of white. Okay, no, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to see what they're doing. I'm not going to see what they're up to. No, but we do. Yeah, no, there's still passion there. There's still a sense of wish fulfillment. This pleases me, but it applies to you both, so this is shared. There's still a sense of interest here. Okay, there is still a sense of passion and attraction, yes. And then also emotional attraction. Emotional attraction is here at the Nine of Cups and Page of Swords. Yeah, it's shared. Okay. At this point in time, it's shared. But overall, it's a Two of Cups. You know that there's more. I mean, you cannot work with what you do not have. So you have that feeling that there's still something here. Okay. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what went down. I feel like your energy, the both of you, is like you're two crazy teenagers, but maybe you are. Maybe you're both very young. But I feel like when you two are together, no matter your age, it's like you connect like you're two wild, crazy teenagers, you know? Kind of like that. And you're showing me that heartache. So I don't know what happened between you two. The Empress, the Devil, Five of Cups. Someone's fears got the better of them. Plagued with fears of emotional abandonment, that this isn't real, this isn't happening, it doesn't mean anything. And it took away from that sense of empowerment, I believe. Somebody gave into the fears that this is nothing, it's insubstantial, it means nothing. I'm just afraid of missing out. This doesn't mean anything. The connection's not real. It's cheap. It's shallow. It's nothing. Yeah, somebody's fears got the better of them. Somebody's prone to shallow emotional attachments, and they didn't want that to happen again. It would take away from our sense of empowerment. I mean, there's quite a bit going on in there. Six of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, King of Cups. With the conviction to meet this thing in reality, and with the conviction of a real, authentic, open heart, this can be repaired. Yes. Six of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, King of Cups. That's a good mixture. So if we kind of remove the elements, I'm not saying passion's not important, but if we remove that, we strip it back, and we look at what we're trying to accomplish here. It's the openness of heart to make something real out of this situation, to make it more tangible, more feasible, or a stronger investment, to give it really our best fucking shot right here. And I mean really our best shot, to do more than make it balance, but to make it work, make it the start of something strong. But yeah, we got to bring our A game here in the heart space and a damn good offer. All right, and that can kick this thing off. Now, I don't quite know what happened here. Somebody became anti-empowered when they believed in the worst fears, and it ran out of control. Somebody else may have felt that they were slipping into a pattern of shallow-based attachments of the past, and felt it was anti who they were. I don't quite know, but there was fears on both sides. And it played into the shadow sides, perhaps on both sides. All right. That one's tricky, but still, I think I get the idea. Hopefully you do too. Yeah, the moon. Everybody's showing me the moon. Man, this full moon, this last full moon, which we're still under the influence of, was rocking a lot of people's worlds. Now, I could say Piscean influence. Yes, you might have some strong Pisces in your chart connecting to a season, etc. Season's a little further out. It's a couple months from now. But I'm telling you what, that full moon was a whopper on some people. I've been seeing it all dang day. But, yeah, no. This stuff's been cooking in the background. It's working up. It's working up. It's working up. Anyway, all right, well, Six of Cups, Ten of Wands. Yeah, okay, so we do know this person. We know them pretty well. We have a history, yeah. All right, Six of Cups, soul bond, Ten of Wands. It was never easy. This one never was easy, right? But yet somehow it always felt easily connected. The reality doesn't play out like it's easy, but the connection always was. Okay. Oh, boundaries, drawing the line, fantasy, daydreaming, imagining, fantasizing. So, and I saw it in a negative context earlier. So it was the negative fantasy. This one is more along the lines of daydreaming about that person, under light of the moon, fantasizing. I think you're both drawing from that in some way. Yes, absolutely. But boundaries, you know, moving past the boundaries or the issues or the barbed wire. Moving past that. Okay. I'm not saying don't have standards or boundaries. I'm saying there was lines drawn between you two at some point, and we have a fantasy of moving past that, getting past the defenses. Okay. Okay. Distant horizon, the ship's coming in. There's a little bit more of that Piscean energy. It doesn't have to be, but there's the fish on the distant horizon. Oh no, resourceful. Very resourceful. Some of you are very resourceful. You can make things happen. You know who's who. You got a lot of connections. Who's who, what's up, what's going on. Distant horizon, resources. 334. Connection, put me in contact. Wish. Wish. We're getting closer and closer to our wish. But wishing more prosperity with this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's you. I just felt like you were that. I'm not saying you're a man. I'm just saying you had that energy. You feel like that guy. You feel like that guy. I've been hurting, babe. Like, and it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And that's why you're so fucking attractive to this person. There's something about the way that you present yourself. That you're kind of a mystery man, aren't you, a little bit? You come across this way. I'm not saying you're a man. I'm saying you have that kind of mystery of like, I'm my own person. Okay? I have pride. I've been hurt. I've been wounded. But I can only show so much of it. That's how you come across. You're getting a little bit like that. Yeah, I got that from the very beginning. At number 28. No, you're the guy. You're sexy too. It's your energy. I'm not talking about the physical piece so much as your energy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're that person. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You have tone. You have style. You have tone. Okay. 28. Now it's wish, resources, but you're looking at your resources. You're looking at your resources. You're trying to connect. Who's who? Figure it out. Talking to. What do you know about them? What's going on? I believe. What's the word? What's the buzz? I believe. Now, what are you going to do? Yeah. I think that's you. At least the energy is. It could be that you're hoping to connect to them, in which case, honey, I don't blame you. That's no wonder you're jumping for joy. No, yeah, no, there's passion here, but we put that aside. We're looking at depth of feeling and then making it real. And that was the goal or the objective as I saw it. Okay? All right. P-I-Z, zip. Okay, we have the Medallion of Snow. Hello, Christina. The Medallion of Scorpio. Sorry, I have a list for those who don't know, and sometimes it confuses people. Scorpio. So here in Scorpio season, absolutely could be connecting to, and like I said, the season might be important to you. And then we have the light to the crescent moon. For some of you, energies around this by the next crescent moon, which is not far from now. We're still under the current energy of the full moon. And then also we have the peacock, a bit of a display there. You have a display, they have a display, somebody has a display, you know, the appearance, the kind of a show effect. I actually believe that that's them. Don't get me wrong, their energy is all but bursting through the roof. It makes me think that they were hurting too. And so they might give you a reaction you weren't expecting, but it's a very enthusiastic yes. So I just saw their energy kind of bursting out. But yeah, it could also be that they have, you know, a bit of an appearance. Sure. Okay. All right. A bit of a show, I meant. I do hope this helped you, Cancer. Good luck to you both. I don't know what your ages are, but when you're around each other, chemically you two react like you're in your 20s. It's very romantic. It's very heady. It's emotionally charged. But practically speaking, someone here knows what to do. Anyway, I hope this helps you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well.